It took them 19 seasons to find me. They finally find somebody that can dominate this game. And if they think that a bunch of all-stars has come out here and play with me, they got another thing coming.
I feel like these new people have a different kind of mentality.
I think they're too soft, the new guys. Never mind these soft locations,
Yeah.
Tocantins. I mean, come on, it's like a resort.
If you look at most of these people, 90% of them are borderline psychotic. No, maybe not psychotic. Maybe that's a harsh word. Insane.
What's up, man?
Is this the one that they keep comparing me to?
It's a pleasure to meet you. They don't compare you to me.
They do. How am I the best if I don't beat the one they keep telling me about?
Well, come on, Russell. You're not the best, and it ain't gonna happen.
I am the best.
But you're good.
They comparing me to you. You can't do that. Because
True.
I'm way
I
better.
agree. Now,
I'm way better.
Now we're talking delusion.
I can't come back with that because I didn't play you.
And you didn't win.
Every season of Survivor is a story. There are main characters, sidekicks, comic reliefs, and villains. But today's story will be focusing on Russell Hantz versus Boston Rob Mariano, a duel that no one saw coming pre-season, but quickly ballooned so hard that it changed the course of Survivor forever. That is no joke. These titans are both coming off of seasons that many fans think they both should have won, but they only lost by playing the jury so hard that the jury was too angry to vote for them. Now, not only are we going to look at both of their stories at the same time, I will be weaving relevant behind the scenes footage in between to make a more cohesive tale. So with that, let's do this thing.
39 days, 20 people, 1 survivor.
Here we go again. Boston Rob is back. The last time we saw him on Survivor was Season 8 All-Stars, where he finished in second place and got engaged to the winner, Amber Burkich. They have since been married. And in between that season and this season, they were on The Amazing Race twice, causing absolute chaos that forced the show to change their rules, which you can see in The Rob Father Parts 3 and 4. Oh, and did I mention their wedding was a public event on CBS? Yeah, I got videos on all of this if you're interested. Season 20, Heroes vs. Villains, was only filmed a few weeks after Russell was done with Season 19 Samoa, meaning he's back to play again in Survivor's first ever all-returnee season since All-Stars. And keep in mind, he has not seen his last season air on TV yet, so he doesn't know that he lost to Natalie in a 7-2 landslide, which means he's likely to play this season in a similar fashion than before, which will be fun for us, but no doubt detrimental for him. But I wonder, did he learn not to say nasty things to people's faces because he saw the reaction that he got from Laura and Monica and a few others when he did it in Samoa? So maybe he won't do that this time. Maybe that's the one improvement he'll make. We shall see. So we start the season off by contrasting Survivor's most recent hero and villain.
The heroes are definitely people I would rather play the game with. The villains are the people I've always been against. So this is perfect for me to be on the hero side and battle it out against these punks I don't like anyway.
I'm a villain. I think villains are smarter than heroes because they don't mind stabbing somebody in the back to get where they want to get. It's a fact. It's a proven fact. Google it.
Oh, I Googled it, and unfortunately I couldn't find any studies to back up what Russell says there, though I love the line regardless. Russell says, "Wow, people like Parvati and Boston Rob have me in awe." But as you may have guessed, Boston Rob is of course on the villains tribe, and he says,
I'm a villain? Well, it's all in perspective, I guess. It's how you see it. But these people are smart, they get rid of me right away. It's the smartest thing they could do. But they won't. They never do.
I mean, he's not wrong. For the most part on Survivor, the divide between hero and villain is all perception and editing. Tom Westman says this season, some of us may switch positions from hero to villain or villain to hero. I wonder who will do that. We then get an epic reward challenge which has both tribes fighting to dig up bags and bring them back to their mats. Quite simple, but it involves a lot of physical contact. Russell faces off with Tom Westman and fights so dirty, and Jeff is like, dude, play fair. But the heroes ultimately win, and upon arriving at the villains camp, Russell says, I don't care that we lost, I am the best.
Can't believe I'm doing this again. It's just starting to sink in. I believe I'm gonna have to stay on my toes with these fellas. And I'm ready for it. I'm ready for the challenge. I got way more to prove right here than I did last time. If I could do it here, if I can take it all the way, if I can whoop these all-stars, doesn't that mean I'm the best ever? I'm gonna play similar to the same game. I'm gonna use the mind game. They better give it their all and play the game, because I'm taking this crap serious. That's why I'm here. I have to work my magic on the villain side, which is gonna be tough. These are all-stars, but you know what? I'm a little above that. Like Michael Jordan is in basketball, like Michael Phelps is in swimming. There's always somebody that's above their sport. And I'm the best player that ever played this game. Now, guess what? I get to prove it.
I see that his ego has only increased since Samoa, and it reaffirms I don't think he really learned all that much since he lost the previous game. We then see back-to-back conversations he has with Danielle DiLorenzo, a Final 2 deal specifically, and she says Russell is a great person to be aligned with. And then he does the exact same thing with Parvati, who says sure, he might be the devil, but he's the devil that she wants on her side. This feels a bit like he's trying to recreate the dumb girl alliance that he flipped on almost immediately, except Danielle is a second place finisher and Parvati has actually won this game, so they're not just some dumb blondes like he called them last time. We then witness a series of events as people say, screw it, I don't really want to work around camp, I want to be lazy. Parvati says, I'm not weaving palm fronds, and Randy says, making fire isn't worth it, since at some point the show's just gonna give us Flint anyways. So Rob steps up.
It's been 6 years since I've played the game, and a lot has changed. Like, there's nobody here that wants to do anything. They don't want to build a shelter. They don't want to try to get a fire going. It's not that they don't know what to do. They've all played Survivor before. Sandra's won the game, so they know what they're doing. And it's like ripping at my every fiber. My wife told me have patience. Amber, I'm trying.
In Marquesas, Rob was presented as this cocky kid. In All-Stars, he was presented as a cutthroat villain. And here, I think Rob is the hero of the villain tribe. On the actual heroes tribe, he would simply blend in, but weirdly enough, he stands out here. This is a strange turn of events, especially if you watched him on The Amazing Race. He was still a villain there. I guess marrying Amber helped calm him down. Rob makes fire for their tribe and Coach is simply in awe and says, dude, you're my hero. Coach really has a thing for Rob. He then talks to Rob about working with him and
you are the man. And it's like when you're talking, I'm just like, I'm literally hanging on every word.
I appreciate it.
We made fire, and now Coach is going off with Boston Rob like he's a hero or something. Rob, he thinks he's the boss of the camp. He thinks he's in control. But this is my mountain, and I'm still the king of the hill, unless I'm dethroned. Well, you know what? That ain't gonna happen.
In case it hasn't been made clear, Russell wants to topple Boston Rob in the same way Boston Rob wanted to topple every single man he faced in All-Stars. It's a style of gameplay that makes enemies, and at this point, I don't think Rob even knows that Russell has it out for him yet. Boston Rob then tries to climb up a tree to get some coconuts, and he fails, and then he presents it to the audience as, I didn't fail, I just wisely chose not to do it because only an idiot would try it. Mind you, he just tried it, but the way he presents it sounds, oh, Boston Rob is super smart. So when Coach does the same exact thing and fails in the same exact way, it's all through Rob's point of view in a way to make Rob look smarter to us and Coach look like a goof. Sandra then says, out of everyone here, I am most like Boston Rob. True or not, the show once again is including this to promote Sandra by utilizing their golden villain. They love Boston Rob. She does call him Boston Bob, which I find hilarious though. In a brief scene for Russell, we see that Coach and Jerry are close romantically, and Russell says, go for it, dude, pursue the love, which is a nice moment. Those are gonna be few and far between, so cherish it while you can. And at the immunity challenge, the villains win thanks to Rob and Sandra. And in a blink and you miss it moment back at camp, Russell's doing like this seesaw thing with Coach. Just take a look at it. It's quite cute and funny. But Russell then says, I am glad the heroes lost and now they have to act like, well, villains. So yeah, that's the premiere. And if Russell isn't a main character based on what we've seen so far, I'm just guessing he goes really early and they're just trying to take advantage of what they have of him right now. Did you know that Patreon is free to sign up for? Yes, that is the place where I give updates, post videos early, and have you all pick what I make now has a free option. Link in the description. You can cancel at any time, and there's a 15% discount if you do sign up for 1 year. Thank you for your support. Episode 2 sees the villain struggle to make a good camp, and Boston Rob says, again, how am I on the idiot tribe? He says this is the third time in a row now. Is it though? Is it? This tribe already won immunity in the last episode, and in All Stars, the Shapira tribe dominated the entire pre-merge. The better way to put this is that, again, the show is letting Boston Rob dictate your feelings about him, and again, he is doing an excellent job, which I applaud him for. He then tries to fix the shelter while the other villains slack off and complain, and Courtney says Rob is a shining star amongst all of these fools. Wow, the love for Boston Rob here is unreal. The show is making a point to praise him at every single turn. We then get this scene, which I will try to explain after you see it.
Rob, talk to me. Your head hurts?
Yeah.
Dude, what do you want me to do?
You got the medical team here now. We're gonna see how you are.
The funny thing about being unconscious is you don't remember anything. I remember I was feeling really sick and I thought I had to sit down. And the next thing I remember, there was a doctor or somebody was talking and I heard Jeff Probst talking.
You look a lot better right now.
I'm sorry.
Why are you sorry?
It's getting the best of me. And I love and respect it too much. I'm gonna win this game, dude. Watch this.
Did you laugh? Because I laughed. Boston Rob with his pouty lip saying, "This game is getting the best of me, Jeff." It's just iconic. Everything prior to Jeff showing up was apparently recreated for the show. I only know this because I did research outside this episode, because if you watch this, you're like, why are they doing this fake acting? Basically, the cameramen didn't catch the collapse of Rob, nor did they get Jerry going to find help, and they wanted to include it. Now, why did they go to the effort of recreating this for the show and then also including on the show when it has no effect on the entire season? Well, you already know the answer, dear viewer. It's because they want to make Boston Rob look heroic. Nothing's more heroic than doing all the work for your tribe, collapsing from all the work, and pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. Obviously. They then win immunity thanks again to Boston Rob's leadership, and back at camp, Rob catches a clam and says, "You can touch it, Jerry." She says, "No." And he says, "Come on, touch my clam." Laughter abounds. But Russell isn't laughing, as he says, he is the king, not Rob. Why does Rob think he's the king? I don't think Rob actually thinks he's the king, but Russell thinks he is. And that's pretty crazy. That night, Russell and Parvati are cuddling and giggling nonstop. It's annoying. And Rob says, "Here's a tip for everyone. Whoever you sleep next to on Survivor is likely your ally. It's a dead giveaway. You don't tend to sleep next to those you want to vote out." But Rob and Coach say, hey, Russell's new. Maybe he doesn't know not to associate himself with Parvati. So they talk to him, and
Russell is walking on very thin ice. Parvati, in my opinion, is the most dangerous player on our tribe.
I've seen this go down before. You gotta be careful. You know, the way you're hanging out with her and everything. And I mean, she might not be the strongest, and she got a lot of friends on the other side.
You're totally right, and it's like, it's ostracizing you. And you gotta be cool on that, man.
Yeah. Everybody knows Coach is a big joke. So he could go around flapping his jaws all he wants. The thing with Rob, he thinks he's the boss of the camp. Like, that's my daddy. Well, I'm the daddy around here. But I gotta listen to this fool, like he's in control. But that's what I have to do to get to the top. That's what I'm gonna have to do until he's gone. He don't know who he's messing with. Nobody knows who they messing with around here. It's Russell Hantz. Give me a break.
I would say Russell needs to chill out, take a step back, take a breather, but we know he's not going to do that. He then tells Parv everything that was said to him, and she says, despite this dude being a straight up lunatic, she trusts him. But do you remember in Samoa when he released the chickens just to cause chaos and nothing happened? Or when he burned Jason's socks to cause chaos and nothing really happened besides Jason being a little annoyed? Or when he dumped everyone's water canteens, which was a minor inconvenience? Well,
Rob thinks he's running the show, and Coach thinks he's running the show, but I'm gonna take control of that. They wanna play rough, I can play rough. King Rustall can get rid of the machete. This is gonna be wonderful, because it's not just gonna be the machete. Oh, Boston Rob likes that hat, don't he? I think he will go nuts with his little bee hat. I don't even like the Boston Red Sox. It's the Houston Astros, baby.
Russell might be a psycho, but in a fun way. I hope that makes sense. The villains then get crushed at the immunity challenge, and the contrast of Colby beating Rob in this season after Rob beat him in All Stars in a very physical challenge is quite fun to watch. Back at camp, it is between Parvati and Randy. for who should be voted off. Parvati has friends on the Heroes tribe, whereas Randy is an easy, non-controversial vote. We go to tribal council where Sandra says, Coach is lazy, and Coach, he just takes great offense to this. More on that later. So they all go to vote, and Randy is gone in a landslide.
Randy, the tribe has spoken.
Episode 4 starts with Coach crying. Yes, Coach is crying. Why, you may ask? Because Sandra at tribal council said he's lazy around camp. Coach's ego can't handle that. It's so massive that he can't believe that anyone would say that he's lazy. So he debates quitting the game. Why does he want to quit? Well, didn't you hear? Sandra said he's lazy. Boston Rob hears about this possible quit and says, that wouldn't make him much of a coach. Same as if a school principal or a therapist quit Survivor. What message would that send to those who look up to you for guidance? He then talks to Coach and says, hey man, you're not on the outs. You're good with me. But here's the thing, Coach expresses the idea that Rob only talks to him when it's time for a immunity challenge, almost like Coach wants more of this relationship and Boston Rob's not giving him enough. It's not presented like that, but Coach kind of like mentions this, and I haven't gotten it out of my head since I heard him say it. Anyways, Coach then feels pretty good after their conversation and says, I am like King Arthur. Yes, Coach views himself as King Arthur. Their tribe wins a reward, which comes with a clue to an idol on their beach. Unfortunately though, everyone sees this, it gets read out loud, and multiple people exclaim that if you go and look for the idol, we will vote you off next. Now that's what they said. What Russell heard was go look for the idol, and that's what he plans on doing. He has the idol on his brilliant brain and he wants it now.
Rob says we're finding the hidden immunity idol altogether and we'll get rid of it. But they're too dumb to walk even down the beach. This is a bunch of idiots out here. Man, if I could find that hidden immunity idol, I will become powerful in this game.
Sandra, we'll find out what Russell's doing. Come on up to the man.
And we look at you down the beach, because if he is, he's a stupid ass. Russell feels his own face.
I mean, it sucks, but that's what we said, right?
He's done. I don't care if he has it or not.
Russell's a bonehead. He's like the Hobbit on crack. And you know what? I don't trust Russell's ass at all. And the safest thing to do with someone like that is to just get rid of him right away.
All of that and he didn't even find it. What happened to the Idol King? Remember how he found 2 idols without anyone telling him any clues last season? Yeah, I thought he was Michael Jordan. Thanks to Rob's leadership, they win immunity again. And when they do,
all right, Rob, you stepped up in a very gutsy position as caller. Paid off.
Just go on a weekend trip together, you guys. Episode 5 sees everyone doing Coach Chi down on the beach, and it is a bonding experience for their tribe. Everyone except for Russell, that is, as he ignores all of them and still looks for the idol in plain sight.
Everybody this morning walks out on the beach, starting doing a little coachy in a circle. You know, all that meditating crap. While they meditating, getting ready for the challenge, I guess that's what they were meditating for. I'm looking for the hidden immunity idol. Been digging on this thing for 2 days straight. It was right in my face. That's what I was afraid of. Rob's not in control of this game right now. This is my key. This is my key right here. And here it goes again.
Unlike in Samoa when he found 3 idols, there is no exciting or triumphant music here, and the visuals of him completely ignoring everyone bonding while he looks for the idol is very telling of his gameplay in both of his seasons so far. But in reality, friends are more powerful than an idol can ever be, and I don't think he knows that. So at the reward challenge, we see the return of Schmergenball from Samoa, and oh no, that's a bad idea because multiple people got hurt last season doing that. One person even got medically evacuated. So when James injures his leg this season, it makes sense. Not bad enough to be medically evacuated, but bad enough to be all wrapped up and limping. The villains win reward, and with that comes a massive chocolate feast that gets everyone sick. And then Russell says, hey Parvati, I have the idol.
Look, things are changing because I have the idol.
Russell having the idol puts me in a better position in the game, gives me a little stronger footing. Because right now everyone's still trying to vote me out. They all think I'm the biggest threat. For some reason, I'm like some evil mastermind who is gonna screw all of them over, so they all want to vote me out now. So Russell having the idol is definitely like he's a great ally for me.
Just grab onto my coattails, girl.
I don't ride coattails, baby. I don't.
You'll ride these and you're gonna be okay. I have the idol. And now we have the idol. I I don't have any problem to give it to you to get further in the game with the votes.
I feel like I need to do something monumental like the Knights of the Round Table. It would go like this, and you put.
And I do this?
No, you would like knight me just like that.
Coach bows down to me. He was the one kneeling to me, and I knight him. As the king that I am, I knight the Dragon Slayer. Then we'll weed out Lil Rob's group. Man, it's personal with me and Rob. I don't think he knows who he's dealing with. He thinks he's tough. All right, may the best man win. Let's do this.
A bit risky telling Coach, but Russell wants to pull people away from Boston Rob, and it seemingly works. Though Coach is also an emotional player like Russell and can flip on a dime depending on how he feels, the villains win immunity thanks to Boston Rob again for the third or fourth time now. And in episode 6, the rivalry Russell has with Rob that has been one-sided so far finally comes to a head.
I don't want to be at your throat. I don't want you to be at my throat. I've decided to have a conversation with Rob to make him think that I'm not after him, which I am.
A lot of people are mad, though, that you went looking for that idol.
I went looking for it, but if I get the next clue, I'll find it.
I'm not a rat, and I'm not going to say who it was, but a lot of people are mad that you went looking for that idol. They want your ass off. He's not playing with the amateurs anymore. He's playing with the big boys now. Better to play with me than against me.
Boston Rob tells me it's better to play with me than against me. Oh, really? I believe I'm gonna get him to eat them words.
It is on. Rob versus Russell. Who will be voted off? Russell is a maniac with a chip on his shoulder. Or will the newly heroic Boston Bob win? Well, at the challenge, Jeff says both tribes are going to tribal no matter what. Fun. Rob wins individual immunity, and he even beats Candace to win reward for his tribe. Rob is practically unstoppable in the challenges this season. But on the plus side, this means Russell can be voted off, and yeah, that's the plan. But Boston Rob, he's feeling a bit cocky. After all, he has the immunity necklace. He has the numbers as his alliance is 6 strong and Russell's is just 3, and he has a foolproof plan. They must split the votes, 3 on Russell and 3 on Parv. That way, if Russell does play an idol, they can just vote the other person off on a revote. While Rob's presenting this idea, Tyson tries to interject with some silly idea about not splitting and just targeting Parvati, but whatever. Rob then talks to Russell and...
Be careful, man, because I'm telling you, if you really don't have that idol, you need to go get it.
I don't have
it. Well, it's been real.
So you telling me,
I'm telling
if I don't find the idol, they'll vote for me tonight.
Better to play with me than against me.
Boston Rob says, buddy, if you don't have the idol tonight, you're gone. And Russell goes, whoa, that means they're targeting Parvati, which is, that's correct. He's dead on. So he says, let's target Tyson, Rob's buddy, and he won't see it coming. But knowing he is down 6-3 and all the other side has to do is split the votes, he makes a risky move.
I don't want to do it. It's breaking my heart. So I'm gonna vote for Parvati.
Yeah, you need to.
And then that'd be it. Yeah. She'll go home. I started thinking, I gotta play this game for myself.
Okay. When Russell came and told me that he wanted to vote out Parvati, I thought it was actually an excellent opportunity to maybe flop my vote to Parvati. I mean, I want her out. I just want to get it over with and get some hot dog in my mouth.
Is Tyson really going to fall for that? As Boston Rob told him, splitting the votes is foolproof, and he's right. Are Russell's mind games really going to work?
I think I'm gonna take the target off of my back. No, not this way. Parvati?
Are you serious? Thank you.
This is indeed a hidden immunity idol. Any votes cast for Parvati will not count. First vote, Russell. Russell. 2 votes, Russell. Parvati does not count. Parvati does not count. Parvati does not count. Parvati does not count. Tyson. Tyson. 6th person voted out of Survivor, Heroes versus Villains. Tyson. Tyson, chapter spoken.
What the heck just happened? I am so confused as to why Tyson flipped his vote and in essence got himself voted off. I'm confused, you're probably confused, and even Rob is confused.
I've played Survivor 3 times now. And for the first time in all of those times, I was shocked last night. I completely didn't know what happened. The more and more I think about it, something doesn't feel right. Something just doesn't feel right.
But while Boston Rob ponders, Courtney makes fun.
It's no secret that Russell has a little boy crush on Parvati because let's face it, he's like a bandy-legged little troll who, sort of like scampers around with his tooth missing and, is in and out of the bushes and never washes, and she pays attention to him, and she has like no problem flirting with clearly anything that walks.
That was too funny to not include in a matter of only 6 episodes with a clean slate entering the season. Russell is in a bad spot socially, not something you could say 6 episodes into Samoa. Him, Parv, and Danielle have gone full villain as they laugh about what happened last night outside of the tent that everyone sleeps in, and everyone's like, what the heck are they laughing about? They're still down 5-3. And then Russell makes a bold move of convincing Jerry to ditch Boston Rob, who they say he would never save you, Jerry. Come flip with us. We'll save you. And they're more right than they even know. I mean, Boston Rob is literally the reason Jerry went out in All-Stars. So Jerry says, yes, I will flip. We then see Russell talk to Jerry and Coach, and I bet you won't guess what offer he makes to them both. He brings it back from Samoa. It's the good old-fashioned final 3. He's just offering this up again to people he's not really planning on going to the end with. The same trick he used all the time in Samoa that bit him in the butt. Coach doesn't believe him, but Jerry does. Right now, Coach is emotionally being pulled towards Boston Rob, but also towards Russell. It's funny. They do lose immunity due to Boston Rob and Sandra, and back at camp, Rob talks to Russell and says, who should we vote off next?
I think we need to weed off the weak.
Who do you suggest?
One of these.
One of who?
Right here.
That's not a way to gather friends, I don't think. How do you two feel about that?
I don't like it.
Oh no, I think he's right.
What kind of logic is that, Russell? That's a new one.
All Rob wants is to keep his alliance strong, which I understand. Because he knows once Courtney leaves, he's at my mercy. I'm after him. He's after me. May the best man win. Whoever's better in the game, that's which one's gonna be here longer. And it's gonna be me. And he sees it coming.
Say it with me, but why? Why does he do this? As we learned in Russell's last video, he doesn't care about the jury. He only cares about reaching Final 3, and he thinks that if he gets there, the jury will automatically vote for him, as if the other 2 people who got to Final 3 are not worthy. I don't get it either, and so many moments of his are going to be labeled dumb because he literally does not care about whether people like him at the end of the game, aka half of the point of Survivor. Rob talks to Coach, and Coach says, we should vote off Courtney. One of Rob's numbers, mind you, because she sucks in challenges. That's what Coach says. Rob says, yeah, but she's loyal, and that's more important. He says, stay true to your word, Coach, and vote with me like you promised. Rob is utilizing King Arthur's moral code against him. But mere moments later, Coach snitches to Russell everything Rob just told him. What the heck, man? At Tribal Council, Russell says, if you ain't with me, you're against me. And as we all know, only a Sith deals in absolutes. So they all go to vote, and
it's game over. It's either you or me.
First vote, Rob. Rob. 2 votes, Rob. Russell. Russell. We're tied. Rob. Tied again. Courtney. 8th person voted out of Survivor, Heroes versus Villains. Rob.
You're a little man.
Rob. The tribe has spoken.
Listen, it's been 6 years since I played this game. In that amount of time, there's been 12 seasons, and the players obviously watched the seasons I played before. They've learned a thing or two, and they've taken the strategy to the next level. These were good players. I can't hold anything against them, and you know what? They're actually very smart, and I'm proud of them that they voted me out. They did the right thing.
Well, Boston Rob is gone, so what's next for Russell's story? Well, he is a guy that always needs a target or he self-destructs, so I'm sure he'll find someone. Episode 8 has him making fun of Boston Rob, which I will admit is pretty funny, and Coach gets upset and says Russell is a bully. He says Boston Rob should have never been voted off. How do I say this? Coach is delusional. Coach threw a vote on Courtney and allowed Boston Rob to go. Coach stopped a tie from happening that could have saved Boston Rob. He purposely did that, and now he is being a whiny little baby because Boston Rob called him a little man, and he took that personally. They then get a clue that makes it sound like the merge is coming up So at the challenge...
So Rupert, shocked that Boston Rob is gone?
It sure looks like they got a women's alliance.
Everybody, drop your expectations. We are not merging.
When I found out that the Hero Tribe thinks this is an all-girl alliance, I thought they're making a huge mistake because there's no girl alliance over here. Rob got voted out last night because of me. I'm like, help.
That is wild that the heroes think the villains are being run by the women, but if I take a step back and look at it from their perspective, it kind of makes sense. The fear of Parvati doing a Black Widows Alliance 2.0 is palpable, and yeah, 3 men have been voted off so far, with Boston Rob being the biggest name of them all. From the outside looking in, I mean, it makes sense, but they just don't have all the context. The villains lose reward, and back at camp, there's a whole lot of fighting over nothing. The lack of Boston Rob is really being felt at their camp, basically. Sandra then tells Russell that Coach is conspiring to get him out, and is this true? No, not at all. Does Russell believe it's true though? Yes, without question. The villains lose immunity, and Russell tells Coach that Courtney needs to go, which is not his true intentions at all. He's just lying to Coach. But then Danielle talks to him, and...
All right, so this is the deal. We need to keep him right now.
Look what we're doing with Coach. We're getting dominated.
Because of Courtney and Sandra.
That's a stupid move. I don't know how you're thinking right now. I don't know how you're playing the game. We keep coaching, we lose the next one. You'll make sure your butt's on the line for that. You would put your butt on the line.
I'm just saying we have a better shot. I'm not. You are freaking out right now. Chill out.
You ain't making any sense.
Yes, I am. It's stupid to let him go. I don't think
I just told you I don't agree with it.
You're not listening to me.
I ain't gonna talk to you no more.
I'm giving you suggestions.
Just calm
I'm
down.
looking at it in different ways. You're just like...
I don't want to talk to you.
I threw that out there and Russell freaked out and screamed at me because he's just so in control of this game and everything has to go the way he wants it to go.
Wow, they're really stressed. A lack of food, a lack of good sleep, and high emotions can definitely do that to you. Either way, it's a bad look for Russell. But then a few minutes later, when he calms down, he says, Danielle, actually, I agree with you. Courtney should go. Russell is so easily swayed. So at Tribal Council, they all go to vote, and...
Courtney. 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 3 votes, Courtney. Coach. 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 9th person voted out of Survivor Heroes versus Villains, and the first member of our jury. Coach. Coach, tribe has spoken.
Coach is the first member of the jury, so let's start tracking how these jury members feel about Russell on their way out the door, shall we? Because Coach doesn't like him and actually badmouths him on Ponderosa constantly. At the episode 9 reward challenge, both Rupert and JT say, wow, the women are definitely running things, and this is just perfect, as JT mouths to hang in there to Russell, and he just plays along and says his Russell seeds are working. This is hilarious. I mean, it makes sense, as I said, from the outside looking in, but this is hilarious knowing what we know. Back at camp, Jerry says she loves how her alliance with Russell is going and he's awesome. Glad to see someone likes him. Now, Russell doesn't witness this next moment, but Parvati finds an idol clue and then the idol, and Russell has no idea because she's keeping it a secret from him. The villains lose immunity, and that's actually not even the biggest deal. What you're about to see happens during the challenge and then right after.
When the challenge is over, you go to JT, okay? He's gonna give you something. Why did you get through the obstacle? Use it tonight. Protect yourself. Get rid of one of them. And come on board with us, okay? Perfect. Okay?
Keep her on the show.
Good. Get rid of her ass.
Wish I could shake your hand. I'll do it later.
Plenty of time.
I don't even have to find idols. People are actually giving me idols. You don't hand the enemy the idol, especially when his name is Russell Hantz. You don't do that. That's a no-no.
Play the idol tonight.
For sure.
To save yourself.
Save myself.
Because clearly, you're on the outside of an all-devouring female alliance.
Right.
I put that part in myself. I can't believe he's writing all this.
He's telling me what to do. He's giving me pointers. How do you give the idol king an idol? Here, Mr. Russell, here's an idol. This one's just for you. Well, thank you. You know what? I think JT just handed me $1 million. Hey, I guess he can afford it.
Hopefully, I can trust you, and you're not truly a villain.
Yes, I am.
Let's do this together. See you soon. BFF forever. XOXO, JT. Destroy this right when you finish reading. JT gave Russell his heart today. And Russell is just gonna stab it a million times over and hand it to me. And I'm gonna eat it.
Are you as blown away as I am? I thought maybe the heroes would work with him come the merge, but I didn't think any of them would just gift him a free idol before the merge. This is what happens when they don't know anything about him and just assume things. It's a risky move on their part, and they're wrong. Russell then says Courtney is the next target since she is likely to flip come the merge. And yeah, then he shows Danielle and Jerry the idol, solidifying trust with them. So we go to tribal council and Courtney is voted off easily.
Courtney, tribe has spoken.
Luck, bitches. See you later.
As I said before, since we're tracking jurors, Courtney is the one that made fun of Russell for being a bandy-legged troll, so yeah, I don't think she likes him either. Episode 10 brings with it a note saying it's time for the merge. Finally. The heroes and villains are even up 5-5 going into this thing, so this next vote is going to be huge. Right away, JT and Rupert talk to Russell and they're like, how the heck are both you and Parvati existing at the same time in this game? Did we not give you an idol to get rid of her?
You know, it's the first time I've been comfortable since day 4. This is where I stand. This is it for me. So don't even have any doubt.
I don't doubt
Don't have any, don't even worry. Where are my kids that I am on board with y'all?
Giving Russell the hidden immunity idol could blow up in my face. I mean, he could have never been going home. You know, he could be the leader of the girls over there. Do I believe it? Not a chance in the world. So, I mean, I trust him explicitly.
Hook, line, and sinker. They're biting everything I tell them. This is gonna be way easier than I thought.
I mean, Russell has them hook, line, and sinker. It's impressive. I'll give him credit, but it's almost like JT's blinded by what he wants to believe versus what the truth is. Russell's taking full advantage of this gift of stupidity. We then see Danielle win immunity and Amanda talks to Parvati and says, hey, play your idol tonight if you have one. Parvati goes, interesting. Russell, not knowing Parvati has an idol, gifts her the JT idol, and at tribal council, Parvati makes a bold move.
You know what, Jeff? Sandra, that's for you.
Get out of here, for real?
Jerry, that one's for you too.
Damn it. Thanks, Jerry. Sandra, these are both hidden immunity idols. Any votes cast for Sandra or Jerry will not count. Jerry does 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 not count. JT, that's 2 votes, JT. 11th person voted out and the 3rd member of our jury. JT, tribe spoken.
I feel like a total idiot right now. This is probably one of the biggest moves in Survivor history, and it did not go in my favor.
JT actually respected Russell on the way out. Nice. But that was a brilliant play by Parvati. Brilliant job by her. I do want to point out, though, that back at Tribal, when she did this, who is Rupert mad at? Russell. Back at camp, Russell is livid with Parvati, and for good reason. He has been completely open and honest with her, so why is she keeping secrets from him? He isn't used to being taken advantage of. He's usually the one taking advantage of others. The next morning, Candace becomes the Judas of the Heroes tribe and talks to Russell.
When it comes down to the top 6, things have to happen. And right now the ship is sinking, you know that.
Yeah, I know.
And somebody, one person has to jump. And that one person is going to be very crucial to what happens later on in the game. If you're the last one standing, you won't be the last one. You won't go with number 6. I can guarantee that. I don't want to sit here and say you're going to go to the top 3, but it's a strong possibility.
Well, just let me know.
Okay, I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Say it with me, but why? Why did he even propose a possible final 3? He is such an emotional player. It's really just because it feels good in the moment to say it for him. But on the flip side, this is great. Not the final 3 part, the other part where Candace is flipping. A hero flipping is just what they needed. We then see Danielle, Amanda, and Colby go on reward. Danielle gets the idol clue. That's the whole thing. And back at camp, she shares it with Russell, who then goes out and searches for it.
Danielle's looking at one side, I'm looking at the other side. I pick up a rock, After being there 5 seconds, there it is. I wanted to break away from her immediately because they hid the immunity idol from me. They didn't let me know about it. You know what? I'm not letting them know about it. I am the king of hidden immunity idols.
Again, no exciting or triumphant music whatsoever. Analyzing and watching the season back to back with Samoa is fascinating because the storytelling was enamored with Russell's successes his first go around, but this time the story seems to be very much intrigued by his failures and plays down anything he does well. We then see him learning almost nothing from Samoa when he tells Candace about his idol to solidify her flipping, and despite how risky it is, it works. However, he then promises her final 3. He doesn't propose a possible final 3, he promises final 3 this time. Say it with me, but why? He then talks to Sandra and says, you better not flip because we now have a hero on our side. Brilliant, because Sandra was going to flip actually, but she won't do it if they don't have the numbers. This was actually a good move. However, on the flip side, she now flat out hates Russell and constantly badmouths him to the heroes and spills everything that happened pre-merge. Russell hears about her doing this from Candace and confronts Sandra by threatening to play his idol and intimidates her, or at least he tries to intimidate her because he clearly has not watched Pearl Islands, because you really can't intimidate and bully Sandra. It has the opposite effect. She loves to fight back. We then go to Tribal Council where Russell says many things in front of the jury that he really should just not say out loud to anyone but himself.
Some of the heroes have talked to me and I know that they sense that I'm on the outside because even I know that I'm on the outside within my own group.
So, Amanda, how do you make it appealing to somebody like Sandra who would say, I'm already 5th with the group I got here with from the beginning?
Well, you offer them a better deal.
She might have the best deal. She's weak in challenges. She's easy to beat for the vote. Sounds like somebody I want to take with me to the jury.
But there's so many times when I feel like I'm not wanted, you know what I'm saying? So I have like a sense of frustration within my own alliance.
First of all, the whole team, we play completely different. Sandra, she's just there with us.
That's a big statement.
See, I'm just there.
Say it with me, but why? Why say that? He's trying to bully Sandra and it isn't going to work. We then see the heroes say that Danielle definitely has the idol, so it's good that Candace hasn't spilled the beans on that secret. And when Russell goes to vote, we see Courtney acting like she's going to puke. So, who's voted off?
Hope I'm doing the right thing and playing it for myself this time.
First vote, Amanda. Parvati. Amanda. 2 votes, Amanda. Parvati. We're tied. 2 votes, Amanda. 2 votes, Parvati. Parvati. Amanda. Amanda. That's 4 votes, Amanda. 12th person voted out and the 4th member of our jury. Amanda. Amanda, the tribe has spoken.
What a needless idol play. And on the note of Amanda as a juror, we never saw her and Russell talk once, so I guess they don't have any sort of relationship that's important to the story. But on a separate note about Russell's bullying, he was a lot more fun as the underdog in Samoa. What we're seeing here is basically how he treated Mick and Natalie at the end of Samoa when he was on top and he knew it. And that's when he openly bullied them. And they were his teammates. We then see Rupert and Colby rightfully mad that Candace flipped on them. And then this scene takes place between Rupert and Russell.
I think Russell is a deceitful person. And anything he says is a lie. He could be worse than Johnny Fairplay. He is.
You've already proven yourself to be a disgusting, terrible human being to swear on your kid's life. I've played the game twice. People see I'm not that liar.
You think I care about how you are as a man?
I think you don't give a damn about anything but yourself.
About you or your
I know. I don't think you give a damn about anybody but yourself.
The great, powerful Rupert, the good guy.
You know,
the second coming of Christ.
You can say whatever you want.
You're such a dumbass, Rupert.
Again, he does this in front of everyone. Sure, the people who have already been voted off are not here, but most of the people here are going to be on the jury. They're going to relay this information. It's so incredibly dumb. Parvati wins individual immunity and Jeff openly reads an idol clue in front of everyone. Interesting. So back at camp, everyone is scrambling to find the idol. And while they're searching, Rupert goes, screw it, I'm just gonna put a rock in my pocket and pretend that I found it. And while that sounds so simple on paper, it's because it is, and it works, and Russell believes him. Going into tribal, the plan is to split the votes 3-3 to flush out Rupert's idol, 3 votes on Candace, 3 votes on Rupert, and if he doesn't play the idol, then he goes, and if he does play the idol, then Candace goes. So, when they all vote,
Rupert. Candace. 1 vote, Candace. Rupert, that's 2 votes, Rupert. Candace. Rupert, that's 3 votes, Rupert. Candace. That's 4 votes, Candace. 13th person voted out and the 5th member of our jury. Candace. Candace, the tribe has spoken. Time for the go.
In terms of Candace as a juror, Russell promised her final 3, and then the very next day, after she flips to help him, he votes her off. They did not anticipate the heroes throwing their votes on Candace, so Rupert lives to see another day because he doesn't have an idol. Back at camp, he blames everyone else but himself for Candace leaving over Rupert, but he voted Candace. He was complicit. Jerry says if you wanted to do something else, then you should have said something instead of just complaining about it right now. He then wins immunity, not that he needs it, and back at camp, he is so very emotional as he decides he has had enough of Danielle and Parvati being close. He wants Danielle gone. He is jealous. Say it with me, but why? Isn't she part of his real final 3? Does he even know who his real final 3 is? I am baffled. He then tells Danielle he wants to vote off Parvati, and she doesn't agree or disagree with what he's saying. And what he's about to do is pretty wild, as he then tells Parv that Danielle proposed to vote her off.
Danielle came to me. She wants to vote you off when it comes down to 5 or 6.
Why would you want to do that?
Well, I want to talk to her.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm
About
serious.
what?
You can't just come at me and tell me that my final 3 from day 1 wants me out, and you think I'm not going to talk to her?
Party, if you do that, you're out this game. I promise you. Are you serious? You're gonna go tell her exactly what I'm trying to keep a secret from her?
I just told you I'm not going to say what you're
You
saying.
can't even bring it up.
Today should have been Rupert done. Russell comes out of nowhere and says, they're blindsiding you. That's what's happening. I'm like, I'm not voting Danielle tonight. I don't care what you say. I'm not doing it.
And you're trying to blindside me. Now he's trying to vote
He
you.
wanted to blindside you.
He said that to you?
Yes.
He's such a liar.
He's got this whole thing, like he wants me and you to be like.
I think he's worried that if it's a final 3 and if it's you, me, and him, you and I will take each other and he'll be out.
As soon as we get rid of Danielle, Parvati, she's gonna be so scared of me, she's gonna stick to me like glue. And she's gonna vote the way I tell her to vote.
So say it with me, but why? That's the theme of this story. But why? Russell is so emotional. He just does whatever he feels like when he feels like it. That's why. He then recruits Colby and Rupert to vote off Danielle, who are both more than happy to do so. And he threatens Jerry and says, if you don't vote off Danielle, then you're next. And she's like, what? You can't just threaten me. He's like, no, it's not me. It's not me. It's Danielle. If you don't vote off Danielle, she's gonna vote you off next. He doesn't explain anything. So at Tribal Council, he fights with Danielle for some reason.
Russell's trying to test loyalty. That's what I got.
So Russell, you got caught.
No, I didn't get caught doing nothing. Today, Danielle came up to me before I said anything and said, when do you want to get rid of? Let me finish talking. Danielle knows where my loyalty lies, and that's with Parvati. If you're gonna come up to me, and try to get rid of Parvati, then I'm gonna try to get rid of you.
You just sat me on the beach and said that you don't want to go against Parvati at the end.
I wanted to see where you stood, and I exactly found out.
We've been in alliance since the beginning. I don't know why he's trying to mess with it.
I don't understand how she's just putting it all on me while I'm trying to mess with it when she agreed totally with that.
Because you were telling me that she wanted to get me off.
Let's
what
get
am I
rid of
supposed to say?
Can I finish, please?
No.
Whatever.
You're such a liar. It wouldn't have happened. It didn't.
It would have happened if I would have wanted it to happen.
It would not have happened. I'm closer to the Parvati than you think.
Oh, really?
Say it with me, but why? Why gaslight and attack someone who you've been loyal with the whole game? And now they're going to the jury and the whole jury's witnessing this. Why? Everyone sees the bullying. It's right there. The jury will believe Danielle over Russell, in my opinion, any day of the week. So they all go to vote, and
you're closer than Parvati than I think. That makes me think that y'all got something going on. So I'm gonna have to cut that tie.
First vote, Rupert. Danielle. Rupert, 2 votes, Rupert. Danielle. Rupert, 3 votes, Rupert. Danielle, we're tied. 14th person voted out and the 6th member of our jury. Danielle. Danielle, Travis spoke.
Russell is insane. Like, I've never seen anyone so psychotic. I mean, you feel like you're in prison when you're around him because he's especially when you're aligned with him, because he doesn't keep it. He stares at you all day long. He watches every single person, who they talk to, and then after they talk to them, he goes up to them and asks them what they talked about. And then he goes up to you and asks what you talked about to make sure the stories match up. I mean, he does this non-stop. He doesn't do any work around camp. He just sits there and stares at people to make sure that they're not trying to, get him off or anyone in his alliance. And now he's testing the people in his alliance. That might bite him in the ass at the end, because I don't know how many people are going to vote for him.
Yeah, I would say Danielle obviously hates Russell. It was just that fast. In a matter of a day, everything just flipped on its head. As of now, he has maybe one vote with JT. Maybe. Parvati says straight up, I can't trust Russell now. He's the biggest villain this game has ever seen, and that's fair. I want to echo what Rupert said earlier too. Even Fairplay was more trustworthy and would stick to an alliance better than Russell does. Russell then tells us that he needed to do that or he was gone, which absolutely nothing on the show has indicated this at all. And in fact, he had immunity around his neck. So I don't know what he's talking about. Does he not know it's a final three at the end? Parvati and Danielle were going to take him there. If anything, he's being dragged as a goat by Parvati. Anyways, it is now time for the family visit, which feels so counter to everything we've been experiencing so far. It's a sweet moment in the midst of just chaos. And that's when his wife comes out and hugs him, which is nice. And then he loses reward to Jerry. And then she picks Sandra and Parvati to go on reward with her, which Russell doesn't like at all. And when his wife says, oh, it was so nice to see you, honey, he completely ignores her and is laser focused on getting revenge with Jerry. So back at camp with Colby and Rupert.
When Jerry got to announce who she's gonna bring, I was fully expecting her to bring me. Why wouldn't she? I've been taking care of Jerry this entire time. She's not gonna take me? I hope that burger literally tastes like $1 million, because that was $1 million decision. Oh. These girls are a bunch of unappreciative little bitches. Both of them. I want to trust you all the way to the final three.
Russell, final three.
Final three.
Colby, final three.
I got to think about winning this game. And Parvati is a huge threat for the $1 million. She's the only one that can give me a shot for it in my mind. So now, if Parvati doesn't win immunity, she's going home.
All right, let's do this. Say it with me. But why? Why do this? Why make this final three deal? He has no intention of keeping it. He would be dumb to go to the end with those two. They will beat him. But Russell is an extremely emotional player, and hey, it felt good in the moment. He then tells the heroes they are voting off Parvati next, and when he gets a chance to talk to Jerry, she does an incredible job of cooling him down and says, we're good till final three, no worries. Again, with the final three promises, Russell's the one promising it. Jerry didn't even bring it up, but Parvati wins her second immunity. So who is Russell going to betray now? Rupert. Fun. But then he learns that Sandra's targeting him, so when he goes and talks to her...
Are you with me or are you against me?
I'm against you, Russell.
Because I've never been against her. But are you with me or are you against me? If you're against me, you're going home next.
You ain't going nowhere.
I know I ain't going nowhere. I know that. I know.
So you telling me I'm going somewhere?
No, I'm safe. Push it. I know I'm safe. I'm comfortable.
You're the one that took.
Who invited Boston Rob back to the party? Are you with me or are you against me?
What are y'all doing? Y'all being stupid? I mean, y'all on something? Y'all drinking over there? Because you're being dumb.
He is severely underestimating Sandra. I mean, remember, Sandra won her first season and she came one vote shy of a perfect game. She's no scrub. This is just like how he underestimated Natalie only a month prior in his life. No lessons have been learned at all. So at Tribal Council, Sandra plays an idol she found that Russell didn't know about, and Rupert is voted off.
Rupert, the tribe has spoken.
Finale time, but quickly I must mention that Russell outright disrespected and fought with Rupert and then betrayed the final three deal with him, so yeah, I don't think Rupert's gonna vote for him. The finale opens with Jeff saying that just like in season 19, Russell has burned bridges, bullied, and made endless deals with anyone he could. Ain't that the truth, Jeff? Ain't that the truth? Back at camp, Russell is mad that Sandra didn't tell him about her idol, and she's like, you don't tell me about any of your idols, why do I have to tell you about my idols? That's so true, Sandra, very true. Russell has this insane thing about him where he feels like he needs to be in control all of the time of everybody. He then accuses Parvati of knowing about Sandra's idol and flat out attacks her, and Parvati didn't know anything, but that doesn't matter. He's just going about this the wrong way, even if she did. And as she says, he's acting like a toddler. He then says he wants to sit next to Sandra and Jerry at the end because he's guaranteed to win. I mean, he's wrong, but whatever. Parvati then wins her third immunity, and Colby talks to Russell and says, hey, If Parvati's at the end, she's going to get more votes than you, straight up. And Russell ignores this. I mean, he doesn't believe him, despite the fact that Colby's going to be a juror. And I think Colby's pretty in tune with what the heroes are thinking. So at Tribal Council, Colby is voted off.
Colby, tribe has spoken.
Colby and Russell really didn't have a relationship beyond the broken Final 3 deal. Back at camp, Russell tells Jerry that if anyone but Parvati wins final immunity, then Parvati is gone. Perfect, he actually listened to Colby. We then see him win final immunity by seconds over Jerry and Parvati. Back at camp, he talks to Sandra.
You know why everybody wants to take you to the end?
Because I already won and they'll win against me.
Yeah.
But I don't care. I'll take the $100,000 because I knew I wasn't going to win again.
And no matter what, in any circumstances, I'm keeping Sandra. I think she might get Courtney's vote, and that's it. So I'm gonna use Sandra for me to win $1 million. She can't beat me. I want you in the final 3 because I think I can beat you for the $1 million.
All right.
Straight up.
I'll take the $100,000. You know how I feel.
Russell won immunity, so essentially I have to do whatever Russell says because he's wearing the idol. I'm feeling wonderful because regardless, Russell's keeping me around because I'll never get a single vote. But I don't know about that.
This was the only time all game it was okay to say, hey, I am not voting you off because I want to bring you to the end because I think I could beat you. This was the perfect context. They're in private, they're alone. I mean, he didn't really have to tell her, but if he had to, yeah, this was fine. It wasn't really threatening either. Not that it matters anymore, as he then talks to Parvati where she says Sandra is the bigger threat than Jerry. Sandra can beat us both. And Russell takes this and he interprets it as, oh, Parvati can't beat Sandra. And I know I can beat Sandra, therefore I can beat Parvati. Easy. Delusional is actually the word, not easy, delusional. He then decides he wants Jerry to be on the jury as a guaranteed vote for himself, and at Tribal Council, Sandra exposes Russell in front of the jury by saying, this dude constantly tells her that she isn't going to beat him at the end and that she's worthless, and he doesn't deny it. So they all go to vote, and...
First vote, Parvati. Jerry. 17th person voted out and the 9th and final member of our jury. Jerry, tribe spoke.
Like what we saw of JT so long ago, Jerry likes Russell's gameplay, so he might have 2 votes at the end if he plays his cards right. He also got 2 votes on Samoa. Quite perfect. We then get a confessional from him where he says reaching the end twice in back-to-back seasons makes him want to tear up. And hey, I almost feel for him. But then he says Sandra hasn't done anything and is easy to beat, so then she takes revenge.
I'm gonna burn his hat. Are you gonna tell?
Are you kidding?
That's how much game I got.
Russell is obnoxious, so I took his hat and I threw it in the fire. I don't care. He could take his bald-headed tail to Tribal Council. It'll be all right. He could wear his buff on his head. He has a big bald patch right here he doesn't want nobody to know about. But we've been here for 39 days. I've seen it a whole ton of times. No, I don't think it's about the money tonight. I think it's about the title of Soul Survivor. That's all Russell wants. And if that's what Russell wants, that's what I gotta make sure Russell does not get.
Without even knowing it, Sandra created a perfect circle back to what Russell did to his own tribe in episode 1 of Samoa. Absolutely beautiful. Final Tribal Council. We have 9 jurors and maybe 2 will vote for Russell. Does that sound familiar? He starts off by giving his opening speech on why you should vote for him. And
everybody thinks that this game is a game of luck. Some cases I believe it is. In my case, I don't believe it is. I played as hard as I possibly could play, and for some reason, you know, when I come here, I feel that people look at me like I did something wrong. You know, I tried to play hard. That's what I did. If I did anything to offend anybody in this game, I apologize, but I played the game. That's all I can say.
Terrible, absolutely terrible. Half apologies and a lack of humility are not going to win this jury over. Colby is the first juror to address Russell, and...
Russell, did you really just say there wasn't any luck involved in getting you here?
I do believe that I got here without any luck. I believe I got here with my strategic play.
Okay, well I was just double checking, because you are delusional if you think you can make it all the way to the end of this game without any luck.
Mind you, Colby once finished in second, and he knows you need luck to get to the end in Survivor. He's been there. Coach is the second juror, and he calls Russell a little man whose lack of admitting to how he really played this game is not going to win any votes. Amanda is the third juror, and like Russell, she has reached the end twice and lost. She knows how this game works. She doesn't even talk to Russell at all, which kind of lines up with them never having a relationship that we saw on screen. Courtney is the fourth juror, another second place finisher, who praises Parvati and Sandra and straight up ignores Russell. JT is the fifth juror and the only former winner on the jury. So when he talks to Russell,
I guess I'll talk to you first, old buddy. Good strategy is getting to the end of the game and then winning the game. Getting to the end of the game is half of it. People you voted out, do you think you've done well at preserving their vote for yourself at the end of the game?
I really seriously believe that everybody on the jury is going to respect my gameplay, especially this group of people that's played the game before and knows how hard it is to play the game. And I might not get anybody's vote, but I have to stick to what's going to get me here. And then hopefully the jury will respect the way I played the game.
Russell, I shook your hand before I left that night. I'm not out for vengeance.
That's what
let's be clear on that.
That's what I'm hoping for. No matter what happens today, I sit here and everybody looks at me like I'm the devil. You know, I am playing the game and I'm playing hard.
I'm laying in my bed, partner, laying yours.
You know, but I want to
lay in your bed like I'm laying in mine.
Yeah, but what I want to do is, you know,
Are you through,
be
Sandra?
cool afterwards.
Thank you.
I agree with JT. Just own your game. I'm not even sure Russell will get JT's vote now. Danielle is the sixth juror, another second place finisher, and she says, Russell, the way you've treated us, the jury is horrendous. Now, if you were to go back and play this game again, would you do anything different? And he says no, and he doesn't apologize. Jerry is the seventh juror, Russell's one seemingly locked vote. And
right after you win the immunity necklace, the plan was get rid of Parvati and take me to the end. So carry on from that moment. And
right after I won the immunity necklace, that was the plan. And all day I thought about it, and I thought that it would be a bad strategic move by me to take you because you didn't do anything to anybody in the jury. And if you were sitting next to me, in my mind, you would have won.
Can I tell you what he told me?
And yeah, I was just going to say, Parvati, your story, because we never talked. So
the reason that he told me that you were leaving is because 100% he knew he was getting your vote. He wanted you on the jury. 100%. He knows he's getting your vote tonight.
And it makes sense.
You know what they say about assuming?
Makes an ass out of you and me.
Exactly.
wow, Parvati exposed him good. Russell is still lying, and that is not something Jerry has ever been okay with that we've seen. Candace is the eighth juror, and she says, Russell, you didn't just lie, you told dirty lies you didn't need to tell. You volunteered things and alliances you didn't need to just to make us feel like crap at the end. Rupert is the final juror, and he says, Russell, your gameplay will not be rewarded by this jury because no one respects how you got to the end. You took the easy road by just burning everyone at every chance you could. So we go to the live reunion where Jeff reads the votes. And
first vote, Parvati. Sandra. Parvati. 2 votes, Parvati. Sandra. We are tied again. 2 votes, Parvati. 2 votes, Sandra. Parvati. That's 3 votes, Parvati. We're tied again. Sandra. Sandra. The winner of Survivor, Heroes vs. Villains, Sandra.
Sandra had a lot of people campaigning for her in Tribal. I mean, Courtney was like, that's my girl. Candace stood up and was like, she's a hero. And everyone was just giving Sandra glowing reviews. So after that Tribal Council, I was like, I think Sandra got this one.
Russell, how are you feeling this morning?
I feel great. You know why?
Why?
I got player of the game. I didn't get 1 vote, but I still got player of the game.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
I was going to ask you.
I don't know. I'm asking you.
How do you feel about the fact that you made it all the way to the end and not one single person, not even Jerry, voted for you?
I don't understand it. Obviously, the public don't understand it either, because I got player of the game.
Well, it's not designed to be played where the public gets a voice.
Right. I think there is a flaw in the system.
Well, let me just say this. How's your singing? How's your singing?
I'm trying out for American Idol.
Because that's a different game, and it's called American Idol.
I'm gonna see how that works for me.
It is safe to say Russell Hantz won Heroes versus Villains. Not in $1 million sense, of course, but in terms of his battle with Rob. The irony is not lost on me about how similar Russell's jury management is to Rob's in All-Stars, but it is a bit different here, as Rob knew the people he was burning in All-Stars outside the game, and these people are just now meeting Russell and they still feel like he's the worst. Rob showed signs of maturity in the season that we didn't see in All-Stars, and we saw maybe a little bit of a second time on The Amazing Race. It felt like he had a chance to win, so when we go to the live reunion of Heroes versus Villains...
Problem is the game. I think there is a flaw in the game.
A flaw in the game of Survivor?
Yes.
Okay.
If she can win the game twice, there is a flaw in the game. What needs to happen is America needs to have a percentage of the vote.
You still wouldn't win if they had a percentage of the vote. You
I would've won last season.
Not win.
Our show is not that. Our show is very clearly defined in that you take a group of people, you put them in one situation, you vote out people, and in the end, the last group, that jury, decides who they think deserves it. This isn't a game in which you include America. That's a different game. Do you think about the fact that the social game is something you're missing?
I don't care about that fact.
The problem with Russell, and I think what he's trying to say to you, is that he doesn't play the game to win. And it's clear in his strategy. He plays a good game to get to the end, but he doesn't play a game to win the game. And that's where he and I differ.
And you play the game to win?
I do play the game to win.
When have you won?
I haven't. But I guarantee, given the opportunity, I'd gladly go back and kick your ass all over the ice.
You know what? Let's make it happen. All right, you make it happen.
That could be a future season. Rob versus Russell.
Jeff's seemingly throwaway line is real. The Rob versus Russell season is indeed happening only 2 seasons later and mere months after the Heroes versus Villains reunion. Basically, in my opinion, Survivor had already planned out a season, and at the last minute they needed to capitalize on the hotness that is Rob versus Russell, so they moved him into that season. So with that, let's move on to Survivor Redemption Island. But first, I want to show a snippet of Rob from his very first time playing on season 4 because it is very relevant.
It's important for me to have people on my team that are gonna do what I tell them to do and not know that I'm telling them to do it. It doesn't matter if my team is stronger physically or even stronger mentally, but just that they obey. It's all on how smart these people are. If they realize if they need you, that's what'll keep them loyal, right? Fear, basically. It's a tough principle, but fear keeps people loyal. If they're afraid they have something to lose, then they'll do what they tell you to do. That's straight out of The Godfather. It's true.
Jeff is gonna have a tough time with me. He calls me out, I'm gonna call him out. Why should I come out here now and be the nice guy? If I did that, I would be voted off first. Because people would say, oh, something's up. They have to fear me. Play the social game, Russell. It's your Achilles heel. Play the social game. My social game is perfect. I'm trying to make them vote the way they're supposed to vote. Not for the popular person or the prettiest person. It's outwit, outlast, outplay. Not out-socialize. It's a problem that needs to be fixed, and I'm here to fix it.
I imagine that little hobbit's back. I'm gonna kick his ass all over the island.
39 days, 18 people, 1 survivor.
I can't believe Survivor is doing this for real. An entire season based around Rob versus Russell. Who else would have this kind of control over Jeff to make a season all about them? Who are the other 16 players competing in this mess of a season? Let's just call them cannon fodder. I am not going to beat around the bush. Boston Rob is back for the 4th time ever in a cast filled with mostly new players, Russell being the only other returning player. Rob could easily dominate this thing. As him and Russell arrive by chopper, Francesca says these two are troublemakers, just calling them out in front of everyone. Big mistake. Rob goes to the Ometepe tribe, which has Francesca on it, and Jeff explains that there is an even bigger twist than Rob versus Russell.
There is one more twist. When you are voted out at tribal council, you will not go home.
What?
Instead, you will leave Tribal Council and you will be sent to Redemption Island, where you will live alone. When the next person joins you on Redemption Island, the two of you will square off in a duel.
What?
The winner stays. The loser is out of the game for good. At a certain point in the game, the remaining person on Redemption Island will be allowed to re-enter the game and continue their pursuit of the title of Sole Survivor and the $1 million prize.
Redemption Island does not scare me one bit. It's a vacation. Yeah, put me on that island and see what happens. Because I'm going to win the challenge, I'm going to come back, I'm going to take some heads off.
Russell said to me as he was getting ready to walk over, why didn't I get a reaction? He still doesn't get it. He still thinks everybody loves him. Rob could win Survivor. He could win it. These people would give it to him. Russell, good luck.
Yeah, anyways, let me explain this season's twist, aka the safeguard for Rob and Russell. When a player is voted off this season, they go to Redemption Island, where they have a chance to win one-on-one duels against others who are voted off in order to win a spot back into the game at 2 points. The first point is at the merge, and the second point is at the final 6. Some fans hate this twist, some fans love it. I'm just glad it's not a secret. Jeff tells everyone right at the beginning of the game, and I think that's the most fair way to do it. Russell says Redemption Island sounds easy to him.
As soon as I walked to the camp, I was so grateful to be back to get my title of Sole Survivor. The first 2, I was a schoolboy. This one, I'm bringing it. This is going to be the new me. I'm going to be the leader to my tribe. When I sit them all down and I take control of the camp, I become the leader of the camp. I'm not here to sabotage anything from nobody. If I came back and did something like that, it would be pretty stupid of me. I'm here to win.
I think anybody that doesn't think Russell is dangerous is foolish. He's played the game twice and he's ended up in the finals twice. He hasn't won, and there's no mystery why he hasn't won. It's the way that he's chosen to play the game both times. He's too aggressive, and he wants the blood on his hands.
We then go to the Ometepe camp, where right away, Matt and Natalie both say they love Rob and they're glad to have him here. But then we see Philip, Mr. Former Federal Agent ? Bossing the others around, mostly the women. Not super important for right now, but keep it in mind for later. Christina is looking through their tribe supplies for an idle clue, which includes a ton of carpentry things, and I am sure that Rob asked for this to be on his season as a caveat for even being here. But he realizes that, hey, the men are down 5-4 in his own tribe. So he talks to Philip and says, we should stick together. And Philip says, yes, Rob, of course, but then snitches to Christina and reveals he wants to work with the women instead, which is made worse when we realize Christina and Francesca both want Rob out. And do you remember how Russell formed an alliance with Parvati and Danielle in Heroes vs. Villains and said, okay, 3 is enough? Well, he's doing it again here with Stephanie and Krista. By the way, everyone sees this, everyone knows to look for it, and they see it. It's so obvious as he isolates himself by only being around Stephanie and Krista. Their tribe wins immunity, and Rob finally gets his first confessional of the season.
Originally, I wanted to vote Francesca off because the very first time I met her, she stood up on the mat, looked at Jeff and said, I don't want to play with him because he's too sneaky. She knows my game. So I don't want someone like that on my tribe. But after thinking about it some more, the second we landed on our beach, Christina was the one looking through all the supplies looking for a hidden immunity idol. She's dangerous. She knows strategy. She knows to get out there and work for it. To me, I don't need someone like that with me.
Wow, the show waited a long time to let him talk to us. As a storytelling choice, this seems to be designed to make us worry that he is going soon. But you saw the runtime of this video. Rob ain't going anywhere anytime soon. He says tonight we split the votes between Francesca and Christina. It's simple, just don't Tyson the situation. So at Tribal Council, chaos ensues when...
if Boston Rob got voted out tonight, which he's not going to, but if he did, he would probably be fine. So we could all feel that there's a good chance he's going to come back into the game at some
I've got
point.
an issue with that statement she just made because Francesca and Christina asked me to cast my vote for Rob.
That is not true.
Excuse me.
I asked you to vote
Excuse me,
for
I
Rob.
didn't interrupt you while you spoke.
You are a crazy person.
Excuse me.
I'm going to interrupt you, Philip. I don't
Excuse
respect
me.
you. I'm
Excuse
going to say what I want to say when I want to say it. I'm sorry.
Jeff, I'm a former special agent. So if I make a statement to you, I'll do everything I can to make sure I adhere to that. And I will not betray. I'll go down on a sinking ship. And so my vote tonight will be for Francesca.
Francesca.
You and Francesca approach me to go along with them because she has an immunity idol.
So that was the plan? You two were going to get together and vote me off?
No, we weren't.
And guess what? I was going to vote for Francesca because that meant Francesca. My mouth is dry and I've been getting treatment for it. So
You have the immunity idol? Give me the immunity idol and you'll stay. Give me the immunity idol and you'll stay. Why should I trust you any more than you should trust me?
I can't do that.
I'm just saying, by you not giving it to me, it makes me think that you're not telling the truth.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Wow. Philip just blew up everything, and now everyone knows Christina has the idol. So they all go to vote, and
Francesca, because you're a liar and you're a devious player.
I hadn't planned on voting for you or Boston Rob tonight, but your little crazy outburst has spared Natalie.
Man, it feels so good to play with you amateurs. You give away so much. You don't even know enough to keep your mouth shut. Thanks for the memories.
First person voted out of Survivor Redemption Island. Francesca, the tribe has spoken.
that is it for the premiere. And while the first 33 minutes of this episode tried to hide Rob as a main character, just know that is quickly going to change. The cat is out of the bag. The Rob Father's back in full force. Did you know that Patreon is free to sign up for? Yes, that is the place where I give updates, post videos early, and have you all pick what I make now as a free option. Link in the description. You can cancel at any time, and there's a 15% discount if you do sign up for 1 year. Thank you for your support. Episode 2 starts with Philip talking to Rob right after Tribal and pledging his undying loyalty to him. Rob says, okay, sure, we shall see. Here's the deal. Rob claims that he knew everyone was lying to him and he had it all figured out before they said a word. It doesn't take a former federal agent ? To figure that out, he says. Rob's captivating way of talking to the camera is back, as he makes not only himself seem like the smartest person in the room, but he brings you in with him, so it feels like you're also the smartest player in the room, even though it's all through Rob's perspective. His charisma is unmatched.
I don't know if he's delusional. I think he's a good-hearted guy. I do. It just might not all be there. Let it be a lesson to you. Government jobs, stressful.
But that is enough of Rob for now. What is Russell up to? Russell says 3 is all I need in this tribe of 9 to control the game, which is dumb. And then he says Ralph might be the dumbest player to ever be on the show. But why? Why is he saying this about Ralph? Because Ralph's like a goofball redneck who acts like a chicken to be funny. Their tribe wins immunity again, and Russell sneaks the idol clue that they get out of the basket and into his own pocket. He says, no one saw me, but actually, Ralph saw him. Ralph tells the others that Russell has the clue, and so he confronts him.
Russell, there wasn't no hidden immunity clue in that bag, was he?
Maybe there was.
I saw you take something out. Was that it?
You had it supposed to be on iron. We won it. You didn't win it. We all won it.
There wasn't no clue in there.
Russell.
You either with me or against me. I don't have it.
You don't got it?
You say you ain't got it?
I ain't got it.
All right, big boy.
But I don't like how you coming at me.
Oh, I was just asking you, wasn't it?
Hey, I'm just saying. I don't like how you coming at me. What the hell was that? Ralph went off. He said he knows how to play this game. He's like, I know how to play this game too. Really?
Hey, man, I found an immunity idol. Hot doggy. I was picking up a few rocks, and I just happened to look in that stump, and I said, well, what's that rock doing in there? And I pulled it back, and there laid the idol. I just couldn't believe I found it that easy. Russell thought, oh, man, he's the king at finding them idols. He just knows where they're at. That was simple as wiping your hind end with toilet paper.
Yep, earlier in this episode, Ralph accidentally stumbled onto the idol. So now Russell's one plan of having the idol and having an alliance of 3 is blown up. I mean, That was his whole plan. It can't work this time. He needs more votes. Russell, not knowing any of this, scrambles around everywhere looking for this idol, and Stephanie says, we could make a fake. And Russell says, well, I guess that's better than nothing. So they make one, and of course, no one is fooled because Ralph has told everyone else he has an idol. It's just Stephanie, Krista, and Russell who have no idea. Everyone's just playing along with Russell to keep his delusion going. Now, we saw this twist of 2 returnees leading their tribe previously in season 11 Guatemala with Stephanie and Bobby John, but neither of them were especially good at playing Survivor. Boston Rob is like a shark in a sea of minnows. This is his 4th time playing, and he's been to the end before. He says his tribe are good little soldiers who will follow his orders. That's what he wants. But Matt and Andrea are getting way too close for his liking. He knows what strength a pair like that can have. Just look at what him and Amber did on All Stars and on The Amazing Race. They dominated. He then talks to Natalie and sees her as a perfect goat to drag to the end, and yes, the parallels to Russell Hantz here have not gone over my own head. But unlike Russell, Rob understands what the jury wants. Their tribe loses immunity again, and then Matt does the unthinkable.
Matt shaking the opposition's hand after we lost the challenge is despicable. When we just got our asses kicked, not once, but twice, back to back, I'm not going over to the other team and giving them hugs and kisses. Matt's trying to play the good Christian game and the social game and the end game on day friggin' 5. Wake up, brother.
Wow, what a big mistake. It seems like small potatoes to me, but Rob is making this into a big deal, and the story is leaning into what Rob is saying, not what Matt is thinking. Though to be fair, when doesn't it do that? Back at camp, Philip apologizes to everyone for losing immunity, and Rob comforts him by saying, hey, we win as a team, we lose as a team. This is not on you. He then talks to Matt and Andrea and tells them a fake plan to split the votes, but what they don't know is that Matt is the real plan, which is made funnier when we cut to Matt saying how impressive Rob is and how he knows exactly what to say to each person to make them feel good. Like Scotty and Eurotrip, Matt doesn't know. Rob tells Philip that he will tap the shoulder of the player he wants Philip to vote for, and at Tribal Council, he taps Christina. So they all go to vote, and
if anybody has a hidden immunity,
Jeff.
Thank you. This is a hidden immunity idol. Any votes cast against Christina tonight will not count. First vote, Christina, does not count. Christina, does not count. Philip, 1 vote Philip. Philip, 2 votes Philip. Matt, 2 votes Philip, 1 vote Matt. Matt, we're tied. Matt. Wow. Second person voted out of Survivor Redemption Island. Matt. Matt, the tribe has spoken.
Rob's story has taken off like a rocket. He had 1 confessional in the premiere, and now in episode 2, he just got 12 of them. The next closest person on his tribe was Andrea and Christina, who each got 2 this past episode. Yeah, the contrast is stark. Episode 3 has him inviting Philip to take Matt's spot in their alliance, to which Philip agrees, and then Matt beats Francesca on Redemption Island. Rob wants Matt gone, but hey, there's still time. So he talks to Andrea, and
I like you, Andrea, and I think you're a good-hearted kid, and, you know, like, I'm sorry what happened, you know, I am. And, like, if I could have thought of any other way, then I would have. But it wasn't just me. There were 4 people that were involved in it, 4 people agreed to it, 4 people talked about it. Nobody wanted to do it.
I talked to Rob, and he assured me that I'm still part of their 5, even though I have a feeling I'm probably in a really sticky position. So right now, strategically, it's smart to stay with them and make sure they don't think I'm scheming. Like, deep down, I'm like still really pissed about what they did. They took my good friend away.
Rob has made it clear with the Matt vote off, you fall in line or else. Andrea won't even consider the idea of flipping on him from here on out. So we go to the immunity challenge, where Zapatera has decided, foolishly I might add, to throw the immunity challenge to get Russell off. They do this successfully due to David's obviousness on the puzzle. Back at camp, Russell's mad. He says, how dare they throw the challenge to get me out? And yeah, no, I actually agree. This is incredibly dumb. They should have just waited until they actually lost a challenge for real, and then they could just vote him off. Nobody's playing along with Russell except for Stephanie and Krista. I mean, he doesn't have the numbers. Back at camp, Philip's fat butt, according to Rob, that's what Rob says, reveals to him that the new idol clue is in the chair. Rob now has the idol clue, but doesn't have the idol yet. At Tribal Council, people say that Russell gave us this pitch that he was going to change, and he didn't. He's exactly the same as before. So they all go to vote, and
first vote, Russell. Russell, that's 2 votes, Russell. Russell, that's 3 votes, Russell. Ralph. Ralph, 2 votes, Ralph. We're tied. Stephanie. That's 2 votes, Stephanie. Stephanie, we have a 3-way tie. Here's what's going to happen. Stephanie, Russell, Ralph, you will not vote. Everybody else will vote, and you can only vote for Ralph, Russell, or Stephanie. First vote, Ralph. Russell. 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 Third person voted out of Survivor Redemption Island. Russell.
I'll be back and be ready.
Russell, the tribe has spoken.
he made it 3 episodes. Count them, 3 episodes. But as I said before, the safety net of Redemption Island is here to give himself a second chance. This season's storytelling has been ruthlessly clowning on him, and now knowing he gets voted off in episode 3, it makes a lot more sense. At this point in the game, he needs to win 5 duels to get back in. On Redemption Island, he says he wishes he could female dog slap every single Zapatera member. Fun. But then in a secret scene, we get some inspiration as Russell talks about his new Keep Hope Alive tattoo and says that's what he needs to win today. So at the Redemption Island duel, he faces off with Matt.
Here we go. To stay alive in this game. Survivors ready. Go. One person will go back to Redemption after this challenge. The other is out of the game for good. Do or die.
This is it.
He's gonna give it a go. Stays alive!
What was that like sitting at home watching him cry on national television when he said he was better than you?
I laughed my ass off. We actually had a Facebook party. We named it WrestleMania. I think we partied the whole week. As a matter of fact, my profile page, I had a hat on, a party hat. We were making noise. I mean, I'm still sore from screaming that day.
Well, that was short. What is strange this season is we never get a follow-up from Rob on how he feels about this, and we never got a challenge where they faced off. Though that Sandra interview I found was too good to pass up not showing you all. Rob versus Russell was executed very poorly by the show, and in Russell's final words, he says he will never play this game again. This was his last time. He then gets very upset at Ralph for telling everyone he had the idol. It says, this is a dumb move. You don't tell anyone you have the idol. Doesn't Russell do this with like every idol he ever gets? Anyways, apparently Russell's been leaking the results of the seasons he has been on before they air on TV.
Because there have been some allegations that there have been some leaks out there and that you have been the source of those leaks. And I think as a lot of people know, there is a huge confidentiality clause, right, punishable by up to $5 million if you're found guilty of having perpetrated this offense.
All I can say is it's 100% false. Yeah. And I just, it's hard for me to sit there and take it, but I do.
So you say
I don't give it any credit whatsoever.
So you're going to sit there and say you are innocent because this will be used in the court of law.
Definitely.
Episode 4 sees Rob pulling a trick out of his sleeve when...
While Philip and Christina were away at the duel today, I started thinking I need to find the hidden immunity idol before Christina finds it again. The stomach's bothering me a little bit too.
It is?
Maybe like constipated.
Oh no.
So I tell him I'm having a little bit of trouble moving things down in that area, and I feel like something might be happening. I look at the girls, I said, it's time. I gotta try to relieve myself. I'm digging through rocks, I'm climbing trees, I'm looking everywhere, and I'm having a really tough time. So I just started searching from tree to tree. Ding, ding. That's a winner. Yeah, baby, maybe I learned something since last time. As for my plans for it, right now, I'm not sure. But one thing I do know is that with this immunity idol, this time I'm gonna make it 39 days and win.
Over on Redemption Island, Russell is eliminated and he cries, but Boston Rob is not there to witness it. Why? I don't know. How did the show botch this rematch so badly? Everyone should be seeing this duel, and of course the immunity challenges should have featured some sort of one-on-one face-off between Rob and Russell. Instead, the show fumbled this twist hard. Rob will literally never acknowledge Russell's vote out on the show, not even a haha you suck kind of confessional, which is crazy considering the advertising that built the season up.
This February, get ready for the biggest Survivor showdown yet, when two of the game's baddest villains return. Rob versus Russell in the ultimate rumble in the jungle.
This island ain't big enough for the both of us.
I'm gonna need a bigger torch.
I apologize for the low quality of that clip, but it's all I could find. But the DVD extras for the season show even more stuff where all they did was hype up Rob versus Russell, and then the show just kind of does nothing with that. All that hype for nothing. It is so dumb. Philip comes back from seeing the Redemption Island duel where Russell cries and tries to blackmail Rob with the information he has to save Christina. Rob is like, the heck, why would you hide information from me? I thought we were an alliance. He then calls Philip a name I will not repeat in this video, and Philip reveals that Ralph has the Zapatera tribe's idol. That's the information he was trying to blackmail him with. They lose immunity again, and while Rob's alliance wants Philip out, it isn't what Rob wants yet. So they all go to vote, and Christina is eliminated.
Fourth person voted out of Survivor Redemption Island. Christina, tribe spoken.
Episode 5 sees Philip going around in his pink underwear, and Rob says, it's weird. It's like seeing your dad in his underwear. It's just like, it's gross and you don't want your friends seeing it. But Philip is keeping the attention off of Rob, which he does like. So Philip needs to stay. We then go to the Redemption Island duel, which has Matt crushing Christina easily. And during it, he asks Rob why he voted him off. And Rob says, hey, I don't make the decisions around here. Everyone decided to vote you off, Matt, not just me. Totally avoiding any blame, and it seems to work. Matt eliminates Christina, and Rob wins his tribe immunity again. But when he gets back to camp,
That is coffee, smell that.
You guys want to save the croissants for tomorrow?
Sounds great.
Does that sound good?
Yep.
I think the
Then Grant set a block for me. I was gonna take it out and put it in down my pants, but I was like, if I do that, it's too obvious. I have it on me. So when Grant turned the other way, he set a pick for me, and I went around the outside. It's like a well-choreographed football play. Unbeknownst to Grant, I ran to my stash of my original hidden immunity idol clue that I had buried, swapped them out, and put the original clue in my hand in place of the one that he thinks that we took out of the coffee. That first clue is so ridiculous. It says something about like looking in the sand and under a rock or maybe in a tree, dig for it, climb for it. Who knows? I mean, this is really all for nothing because I already have the immunity idol, you know? But it's fun for me. I have to entertain myself out here somehow. I had to hustle, you know? But you gotta hustle if you want to make $1. Everybody knows that.
So devious. Episode 6 sees Matt eliminating Krista, and at this rate, he is definitely going to return to the game. But Philip is causing Rob more headaches as he fights with the women about pulling their weight around camp, and Rob says actually he kind of likes the women slacking off. Rob wants them to give everyone no reason to vote for them come the end of the game. However, he does coach Philip into not making such a big deal out of the women doing nothing around here. He wants them to stay unified as a tribe. They win immunity again, and wow, on their epic reward.
So as Grant's showing me the note, Philip ends up walking up the stairs and sees the note too. It was a little bit like Grant and I were back in school and we got busted by the principal.
I've been in an alliance with Rob, Grant, and myself. In fact, I called ourselves Stealth or Us. I'm the specialist, Rob is the mentalist, and Grant is the assassin. And yet today, when Rob and Grant found the clue for an idol, they tried to hide it. Well, hell has no fury, like a lion or a gorilla, when he thinks he's been provoked. I could dwell in a place of negativity right now based on what I just saw. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna smile, and when the time comes, I'm gonna kick a little ass around here.
Busted. I mean, Philip doesn't seem to take it too personally, but Philip also flies off the handle at a moment's notice. You just never know what you're gonna get with him. We then see Matt beat Stephanie on Redemption, and wow, this kid is unstoppable. Philip then says, hey Rob, should we keep anything we learned on Redemption a secret from the others? And Rob says, no, but I'm glad you asked. And as Rob tells us, he says he wanted Philip to ask something like this so he could use it against Philip. You know, he wanted ammunition that was true. So Rob tells the rest of the tribe what Philip tried to do, And yeah, Rob is a real stranglehold over what this tribe thinks and what they do in a way that I've never seen before in this show, and that is represented well when the ladies make rice for everyone.
Rob wants all that crispy stuff. He probably will only eat that.
So I want one
Yeah.
of the crispy, okay? Just
Well,
one.
that's all Rob's eating. That's all Rob's eating.
But I didn't have one scoop of the crispy.
We didn't either. We didn't have any.
I don't see where one scoop of the crispy would have, done that.
It's Rob. Serve us the
I saw you guys get a scoop of the crispy. Let's not make a mountain out of a molehill right now. Wow. I'm sick and tired of the fact that they act like because Boston Rob is Boston Rob, he gets deference to everything. Let it be known, the first opportunity I have to eliminate him, I will. Am I feeling part of his tribe? Hell no. Am I giving 100% to this tribe, 110% to this tribe? Hell yeah. And I'm sick of it. I'm not quitting. I'm here to stay, but I want it to be on record. There is a division in this tribe, not of my making, of their making.
No one messes with Rob, and those he keeps close are loyal out of fear. Fear keeps people loyal. They win immunity and reward, which has them going to this awesome active volcano. And no, I don't know if this is the same volcano from season 21 that Fabio sledded down. However, keep in mind every time they're at a challenge and there's that pool, yeah, that's the same pool that Fabio peed in. But back to Rob and the volcano.
I've been on enough rewards to know whenever you win one, there's gonna be a clue. So immediately it hits me. The cookies are cylindrical shaped. The clue's gotta be in there. But it really doesn't even matter what it says because I already have the idol. So might as well just throw it away in the volcano. Bye-bye.
Episode 8 sees everyone getting a note that says the merge is incoming. Go to the Redemption Island duel because whoever wins is back in the game. It is Matt versus Sarita from Zapatera, and Rob does not want Matt to win. So of course, Matt wins and he re-enters the game. Great. The tribes are tied up 5-5 with Matt and Andrea. Whichever side they pick will win the battle, but remember, Rob has already instilled fear into Andrea. She's not gonna flip, so really, it's 6-5 with Matt in the middle. But while celebrating their new merged tribe, Rob suggests a name.
Merlonio means from the sea united.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Great. Is everyone like that?
I love Melania.
Merlonio? Say it one more time.
Merlonio? Merlonio doesn't mean anything. It's just an inside joke between Amber and I. She has a bunch of stuffed animals, and Merlonio is like the ringleader. So that's the name of our new tribe. 1, 2, 3, Merlonio!
Sneaky, sneaky. I wonder if Merlonio is one of these stuffed animals that you're looking at now from Amber's room that you can see from her post-season 2 interview. Yeah, but back to season 22. Rob is firmly established in us versus them mentality as their tribe sleeps in a separate location from Zapatera with the tarp that they won, while Zapatera gets to sleep in a shelter filled with holes and they get rained on. This is hardcore. But that night, Matt devises a plan that he pitches to Andrea. He says, we need to blindside Rob, which garners a big reaction. But here's the thing, Andrea is too afraid of the possible repercussions of failing, so she isn't fully on board. That's the loyal fear Boston Rob wants. He goes so far as to say he doesn't want people getting close over anything, whether it's the Bible, Oreo cookies, romantic comedies, nothing. He wants people at each other's throats at all time. Natalie then wins individual immunity, and back at camp, Matt reveals to Rob a big secret.
Mike was telling me, look, I have an idol for you and Andrea, him, Ralph, and Steve. And he's like, and I could use it to save you with it. And then it'd be you in the Final Four. I'm like, that'd be cool. Like, I want to go as far as I can, but I'm with y'all. Like,
thanks, man. That means a lot. It really does. Matt just told me he was thinking about flipping and going with Zapatera. I mean, first of all, he has the audacity to think that he's going to come up with a plan to vote me out. And then the stupidity to tell me that. It just confirmed he can't be trusted. So because of it, I'm giving him a one-way ticket back to Redemption Island.
I came clean, told them about Mike and everything. I know, like, they wanted to bring you in, but I'm not flipping. We're not doing any of that.
Yesterday, Matt and I were like, okay, we're not telling anybody what we're planning. And now he's like throwing me under the bus to Rob. It's so stupid because like that could have sabotaged my plan to get to like the final 3 completely.
I am dumbfounded. I mean, this is a video about Rob, but why would Matt tell Rob that? He clearly feels like he wronged Rob and wants to come clean. But why? Is aligning with Zapatera a morally wrong move or something? I am blown away, but you better believe Rob immediately tells all of Ometepe that, yeah, Matt's going right back to redemption. Grant says, isn't that kind of mean? Matt's a good Christian guy. And Rob says, yeah, he could still be a good Christian guy on Redemption Island. So cold, so very, very cold. At Tribal Council, David of the Zapatera tribe says that challenge in episode 3, the one that I said, hey, make sure to keep this in mind. Yeah, apparently he threw it so they could get out Russell Hantz. This causes Philip to fight with Zapatera, and Rob is somehow avoiding all the drama. Who knew the 4-time returning player would not be in anyone's line of sight? This is crazy. So they all go to vote, and
if anybody has a hidden immunity idol and you want to play it, now would be the time to do so.
I want to play this one on Mike.
Okay. This is a hidden immunity idol. Any votes cast against Mike will not count. First vote, Grant. Steve. Grant. 2 votes, Grant. That's 3 votes, Grant. 4 votes for Grant. 5 votes for Grant. Matt. Matt. 2 votes, Matt. 3 votes, Matt. Matt. We're tied. 5 votes, Grant. 5 votes, Matt. 1 vote, Steve. 8th person voted out of Survivor Redemption Island. Matt. Matt, once again, the tribe has spoken.
Holy crap, Rob is not messing around, and you best believe this sends a message, and the entire Zapatera tribe gets it. They're blown away. Julie even says Rob is straight up evil to send Matt back to redemption like that. But now, Ometepe will stick together like glue, or else they fear they'll become like Matt. Fear keeps people loyal. Ralph even tries talking to the women of Ometepe, and none of them even entertain a conversation with him. Why? Because Rob has implemented this new system.
From here on out, we don't decide who's going next until the very last minute.
Yes.
We're going to do the buddy system. Nobody talks to anybody on their own. Don't even friggin' entertain any crap with them.
No conversation about it.
No,
just the weather and
we're guaranteed to go to the final 6. I have a whole vision that I'm trying to put into action here. Keeping us versus them mentality. Thus the separate shelters, the separate eating times. I want my group to hate Zapatera. It's us versus them, and we're better than them. And we're gonna be arrogant about it, and we're gonna show it. I'm not, but I want them to. Because I want their votes at the end of the day.
If this season wasn't packed filled with cannon fodder and sheep, aka recruits, Rob would never get away with this. It's like they only saw him be a good guy on Heroes vs. Villains, and that's it. They never saw All-Stars or Marquesas. Natalie then tells Rob how Ralph tried talking to them and paints Ashley as a bad guy for not having told Rob already. Natalie is such a teacher's pet. Rob says Ashley is screwed up and she will not be in the final 3 now. I didn't know she's going to be there to begin with, but apparently now she's not going to be there. He says, you have to tell him everything or you're done. Grant wins immunity, and Rob says, we're voting off Mike because we need people on Redemption who can beat Matt. I don't want Matt back in the game. So at Tribal, they vote, and
9th person voted out of Survivor Redemption Island. Mike, the tribe has spoken.
That night, Rob tells Philip, hey, you're at the top with me. Don't worry about a thing. Why does Rob say this? Well, because Philip keeps fighting with Zapatera and is making himself an even bigger goat than before. Rob says Philip isn't really crazy, but he's a little crazy. So now Rob's ideal final 3 is with Philip and Natalie. What Rob doesn't know is that behind his back, Philip is saying that while right now, sure, he knows that Rob thinks of him as a goat, he will be flipping this game on Rob. Just now, not now. Now is not the time, he says. In my opinion, Philip has no social capital to do such a move, but I am interested to see him try. Andrea wins immunity, and back at camp.
Hey, we got all kinds of fish. Hell, we got 50 fish.
Shut up!
Are they alive or are they dead?
They're all dead.
They're dead, you can't eat them.
Rob is trying to tell his people that fish isn't any good. Now, if Rob were to catch all that fish, that would have been a different story. They would have been feasting over there.
Here's the thing, I'm running my tribe like the army. I'm the general. They're soldiers, and they're all doing as they're told.
Here's the thing. Rob is right. There is a risk in eating those long dead fish. You can Google it yourself. However, the story here is less interested in Rob being right and more interested in painting him as the controlling mastermind. They want us to know that right or wrong, Rob is controlling Ometepe. He even says he's the general and they are his loyal soldiers, which is then contrasted with Grant saying, I am my own man and I make my own decisions around here. I don't just listen to Rob. Yeah, okay, buddy. So they all go to tribal to vote and
10th person voted out of Survivor Redemption Island. David. David, the tribe has spoken.
Episode 10 sees a three-way duel on Redemption Island where David is eliminated by Mike and Matt. Matt just won't die and Rob is super ticked about it. Philip is also ticked, but not about Matt. He is annoyed that the other tribe is eating a lot of their own rice from their separate rice supply because yes, of course, Ometepe does not want to share the rice with Zapatera. So Philip goes over and steals some of Zapatera's rice for Ometepe, and it is wild to see this man jump through hoops to justify his behavior as the morally correct thing to do. Rob and Grant then sing a song about how there are rice wars, and little do they know what is about to happen. You see, Andrea finds maggots in their rice supply because Philip dumped out all their rice onto a blanket and exposed it to the maggots. And Philip asks Zapatera if, hey, can we share some of your rice? And they say, no, why would we do that?
The other rice is perfectly fine. Our container had a leak in the bottom of it. It got wet and it molded, but the rice that's on that towel is perfectly good rice. There's nothing wrong with it.
Wouldn't it have been smart to talk about this before you dumped it all out, Philip?
No, but I don't want to have that debate with you. You know what? I've asked, unless you walk with that can, the first opportunity I have to take that can and hide it, I will. And you will come ask me for the rice. I'm a very reasonable person to deal with. You don't want to deal with things reasonable?
Reasonable at all, you're a lunatic.
I know I am, but that's your perception. Anytime somebody of my color gets up in one of your faces, then you feel like I'm a lunatic, I'm crazy.
Oh, he just brought in the race card. Really?
I remember I'm the chief of counterintelligence. Wing Chun Kung Fu expert here. Steve feels like he's better than me, you know, and I think it has some slight racial undertones to it. They're the ones that go to the next level to you're crazy. When he said that, I go, don't forget that. I am crazy. I just noticed that every single time I make an issue with the people of the former Zapatella tribe, suddenly a guy who was able to become a federal agent in 3 separate agencies suddenly becomes crazy. You now call me crazy. You are crazy. Every time I make an argument, suddenly I'm crazy. And that's what happens. With some white folks, they like to take a black man and make him crazy when he makes an argument that you don't want to hear. And you know what I got to say with that? Right there, buddy.
I don't mind so much him picking on the other tribe, but you can just see that once they're gone, that old Philip's coming back.
Yep, Philip is a go you drag to the end. This confirms it. There's no way he can win. Steve, Julie, and Ralph will 100% pass this on to those at Redemption and at Ponderosa. The jury will be 9 people, and that's like, what, 5 or 6 right there? Philip can't win. Boston Rob then wins immunity, and at Tribal Council, I am thoroughly impressed by Jeff helping Philip and Steve work through their issues or at least get them to a mental state where they can live together again. So they all go to vote, and
11th person voted out of Survivor Redemption Island. Julie, the tribe has spoken.
The next day, we see Matt and Mike eliminate Julie because, of course, Matt just won't die. Grant wins immunity, and Rob says Ralph is physically stronger than Steve, so he is gone next. Ashley says, whatever Rob wants to do is what we will do. I mean, they are just loyal soldiers for Rob. Steve even tries talking strategy with her and Natalie, and they immediately snitch all of this to Rob. He has them under lockdown. But I won't bury the lead. Survivor's doing a double vote off this episode, and we all know where this is headed considering there are only 2 Zapatera left. So, Ralph is voted off, just like Rob wanted. They then do an impromptu immunity challenge, which Rob wins, why not? And then Steve is voted off. We are now finally done with Zapatera and can see the real drama between Ometepe. Who is next on Rob's hit list? Andrea. Who says they're excited to finally vote off an Ometepe member? Andrea. Like Scotty from Eurotrip, Andrea doesn't know. Natalie cries because of what is about to happen, and Rob comforts her. Despite all the smack talk he does in confessionals, Rob is great when it comes to maintaining and building relationships. He says, in only 8 more days, I'm gonna win this game, just as long as the other people don't smarten up. So we go to Redemption, where Matt wins again, and Steve is eliminated.
The Ometepe tribe is going to be whittled down one at a time. I'm betting Grant goes
at the first opportunity, if Rob wins immunity, he'd get rid of a physical threat, maybe pick away at the girls so they don't set up, finally wise up to the power that they do have. I'd certainly like to see, if it's a three-person finals, I'd love to see the winner of the last one standing on Redemption Island. If it's Matt or Mike, most likely one of those two. Love to see them in the finals.
Steve might be onto something here. Anytime someone is voted off and says their opinion in relation to Rob, I will show it. But back to Redemption Island. This episode is the loved ones visit, and because Mike won the Redemption Island duel, he got first place. He gets to decide who gets love from their family. And in a shocking twist, he doesn't pick himself or those on Redemption, he picks those still left in the game. Wow, what an idiot. So back at camp, Rob talks to his sister.
Philip's a nut job, a wacko, but he's like the biggest goat. He's pissed everybody here off.
Oh, really?
If I drag him to the end, he doesn't get any votes.
Right.
You know? And I feel like right now, I'm playing my best game. But even everything that's happened up until right now means nothing unless I can finish it. I need this. It's to make a better life for my wife and my kids. Even though we're at a point now where some people might be taking a break from the game and thinking about home, it just makes me focus. I want to win Survivor. This is something I've been trying to do for 10 years now. I'm 8 days away. So there's nothing that's gonna stop me.
Unfortunately, Amber couldn't be there, but it makes sense because she's staying home with her kid. Rob says as long as Andrea doesn't win this next immunity challenge, she is gone. So at said challenge,
Rob, his leg's nearly buckling, crawling up these steps. He is literally carrying his family on his back. Rob with his last puzzle step, struggling to make it up without collapsing. Mariano wins immunity. You all right, Rob?
Oh, it's hot. My legs are burning.
You want me to have medical look at you?
No.
Once again, barely standing, Mariano safe at tonight's tribal council.
Rob is so dramatic, and I love it. After all, he literally carried his family on his back. Jeff and Rob need to get a room. Back at camp, Philip fights with the girls and tells that he actually has an oral argument come Final Tribal that will make up for all of his stupid gameplay and win him the game. Really? I can't wait to hear it. Mind you, this is the same guy who, when Jeff asks why he's not a threat to Rob, he answers with how much better he was than everyone else in the army when it came to physicalness. Sure, buddy. So they all vote, and
14th person voted out. Andrea. Andrea, the tribe has spoken.
Episode 13 sees Natalie ratting on her BFF Ashley to Rob. Why? Well, because Ashley told Natalie she wants them both in the final three, meaning her and Natalie. Why would Natalie snitch on this? Ugh, it's ridiculous. And also, Ashley doesn't say who she wants as the third person in the final three. It just kind of it's open-ended, but still Natalie snitches. This causes something to stir inside Rob. He now hates Ashley. Don't ask why, because I don't have a good answer. We see Matt win redemption again as Ralph is eliminated, and Rob tells Grant that there is something about Ashley he can't put his finger on, but he can't trust her. He says she has an evil inside of her that he hates. Now I gotta tell you, watching this Rob hating Ashley out of nowhere story has me dying of laughter every time. So I've had to record this many times, write this script without trying to die of laughter. I can't take it seriously. I really can't. Ashley asks Rob if they should vote off Grant next, and Rob, he's blown away. He says, "We can't vote off Grant next. That's absurd. How dare Ashley suggest such a thing?" So he talks to Natalie, and
I understand it's going to be hard, but at this point, I can't stand what she's doing to you. I can see it. She's trying to tell you what's in your best interest. Natalie may not be the brightest player to ever play this game. We all know that. But Natalie is a sweetheart. She's innocent and she's pure. And Ashley's trying to corrupt that. Ashley and Natalie, they've been close since the beginning of this game, but it's never been a strategic closeness. And more I see Ashley imposing her wisdom on Natalie. And it's not a good thing. You know what I'm excited about? It's day 35. And after 35 days of having this pain in my ass, I think I'm gonna finally get some relief tonight.
The music and editing is supporting Rob, but he's being crazy. He has no one to target now, so he is conjuring up reasons to have an enemy. Ashley then wins immunity, and no joke, Rob says days like today are when he wished he had just stayed home. Oh, woe is me. Ashley won immunity. That makes Rob's fight for $1 million no longer worth it. So get this, he says, we're gonna vote off Grant. Excuse me? The thing Ashley said this very episode that Rob got offended by is now okay because Rob says so? Oh, I guess so. He even says, I have to do all the dirty work around here because everyone else is too stupid to do it. Which would be a villainous moment if the show didn't constantly support Rob 24/7. He talks to Grant and lies about what their plan is, and then tells Grant that he hopes Ashley chokes and dies. Wow. So he talks to Natalie and...
I knew for a while, but I know Ashley can't be trusted either. Because if she turned on Grant this quickly, it'll be me next.
With Ashley and Natalie getting as close as they're getting, it could be a real problem if somebody were to come back from Redemption Island and they were to decide to join up with that person and decide that they don't need me anymore. In that situation, it would be more advantageous for me to break up Ashley and Natalie while I have the chance so that that doesn't happen. And I think Grant's a good guy. I really have made a good friendship with him throughout this show. I'm still sitting in a pretty good spot even though I didn't win immunity today.
I am blown away. Did Ashley do or say something we didn't see? Rob looks absurd here. How is Ashley wanting to turn on Grant make her untrustworthy when Rob's doing the same thing? The hypocrisy is unreal. At Tribal Council, Rob says the only thing motivating him now are Amber and his daughter. So they all go to vote and...
15th person voted out. Grant. Grant, the tribe has spoken.
It is finale time and Rob says, my gut is telling me that Ashley is up to no good. She has got to go. I am blown away. This rivalry with Ashley is by far the funniest thing Rob has ever done, and I don't know if he's ever gonna top it. We then go to Redemption Island where Matt finally loses in a shocker, along with Mike and Grant. To whom you may ask? Andrea. Andrea is now back in the game.
I would say, Rob's the favorite horse to make it to the end, and if he does, he'll probably command a lot of jury votes just because he played such a flawless game, and he was in control of that tribe from day one, and going into the merge with numbers, he really took over, and he made some great moves. So, I think he's the prize horse at this point.
Rob, he better win immunity today, or those girls are stupid if they don't vote him out. And I kind of think that they're stupid and they're going to take him because they love him so much.
Here's the thing. Even if the girls wanted to, they can't vote off Rob. Don't you all remember? Rob has the idol. That's why he threw the note in the volcano. It's been so long, I almost forgot. He can't be touched and he wants Ashley gone. Duh. Remember, she's basically the devil. Andrea tries pitching to the women to vote off Rob or Philip, but neither seem interested in this idea. Did you hear what I just said? It's the final five, and neither Ashley or Natalie care about voting off Rob or Philip. But remember, Ashley's the devil.
Ashley thinks she's a mastermind in this mother. You know what I mean, Ashley?
I want her to go.
Andrea wins immunity. Philip must go. That's what she's saying.
Yeah.
Ashley drives me nuts, but her tactics are so amateur hour. Natalie's a good-hearted little soul, one that's loyal. And, I don't like to see someone corrupt my soldiers.
We just need to make them think that Andrea's going home.
Yes.
I can't wait to vote her ass out. I can't. 37 days. It's like the patience is finally going to pay off, and it's going to be that much sweeter.
This only gets better as Ashley wins immunity. Oh, the horror. It's days like today where I'm not sure if I even wanted to be here. The pain. How will Rob ever win when the evil Ashley is still in the game? Back at camp, Rob says Andrea is next. He says this out loud to Andrea. Mind you, Ashley's never even done something like that. But remember, Ashley is the evil one. Philip spots Ashley and Natalie talking for like 10 minutes by themselves, and he snitches this information to Rob, who says, duh, it's Survivor. Welcome to the game, Philip. Everyone talks to each other. So they all go to vote, and...
You know what? My mother always told me, Better be safe than sorry.
This is a hidden immunity idol. Any votes cast against Rob will not count. First vote, Rob, does not count. Andrea, that's 2 votes, Andrea. 16th person voted out, Andrea, once again, Travis spoken.
I'm actually rooting for Rob left in the game. He played the best strategic game. He really had us all, working in this Ometepe tribe. The girls could have done something tonight. They could have made a move, and I would actually had a little more respect for them, but they sat pretty and didn't budge. So, I'm rooting for Rob.
All of that, and Andrea's still voting Rob. He truly controls them all. He then promises Ashley and Natalie he will win immunity, and they can finally vote off Phillip. He says this challenge is for the million, and the evil Ashley cannot win. So,
Let's work together.
Yeah.
I don't have anything yet. You?
No, plans.
You can work together all you want. Only one person will win immunity. Only one person will have that necklace tonight at Tribal Council. Only you are safe. He is. Yeah! Rob Mariano wins final immunity. Rob, safe tonight.
It was Amber that encouraged me to come back and try again. She believes in it. It's because of her. Like, whatever happens now, I'm okay. Even if I don't win. Which is ironic, because the only reason I ever wanted to come back and play again was to win. But I feel like I did my best. But I'm not done yet. First of all, figure out which one of these other 3 idiots I'm gonna send home tonight.
Finally, Ashley, who is pure evil, even though Rob was the one trying to trick her, who is pure evil, has lost. She is being voted off next. He even tells Ashley that, don't worry, we're voting off Phillip. Keep it a secret. And she goes, okay, and she believes him because Ashley isn't the worst. Rob just is crazy. No one could trust her though. Remember that. No one could trust her. She's the worst. I'm sorry for even thinking anything different. I'm so sorry, Rob. Don't vote me off. Rob then talks to Natalie and says, we must vote off Ashley. And Natalie doesn't understand, but she agrees mindlessly to keep it a secret. So at Tribal, they all vote and
17th person voted out, Ashley. Ashley, the tribe has spoken.
I honestly didn't know I was going home. I probably am an idiot for thinking that because I was the biggest threat that Rob could have taken to the final 3. I mean, between Phillip, Natalie, and Rob, I'm going to vote for Rob. I already know that 100%. He, was like a brother out here to me, although he just voted me off.
I have an idea who I want to vote for, who I think deserves the money, but that doesn't mean I'm closed off to hearing all sides. I don't really think that Natalie and Phillip have an argument, but I'm interested to see kind of what they come up with and the angle that they take.
Finally, evil is gone. Everyone can rejoice. Are you all relieved like I am? Ashley terrorized Rob's game all season, and she has finally gone, never cause him havoc or corrupt his loyal soldiers ever again. But in all seriousness, I think Boston Rob is finally going to do what he couldn't quite pull off in All-Stars. Winning this game has eluded him, but this time, he knows what to do.
The jury can be funny sometimes. They try to make me cry. And you know what I did last time? I felt bad. And I said, I'm sorry. And you know what? Looking back in it, that's the biggest regret I ever had. I should have stood up and said, hey, kiss my ass.
I made it all the way to the end. The first time the jury didn't feel I was worthy. I'm hoping that tonight I'm not going to screw it up again. As far as I'm concerned, I've done my job.
It is time. Final Tribal Council. This is when Phillip is going to use his expert oral argument to turn the game on Rob and win it all. Remember, he said that. Yeah, we shall see. Boston Rob gives his opening speech and...
First of all, guys, I want to say thanks for just giving me the opportunity to play with you, particularly Ometepe. I think if I was on Zapatero from the beginning, it may have been a different story. Another thing that I thought a lot about, I've been out here for 117 days. Basically 10 years on and off. I've been trying to climb this mountain and get to the top of it. And you know what? It's almost a third of my life. But does Survivor define me? It's been a huge part of my life, and it's been a huge chapter in my life, and it's a game that I love, but it doesn't. At the end of the day, it's about my wife and my child. That's why I'm out here. I love this game, but ultimately I want to win it so I can bring something home so they can have a better future. So I hope that I played the game the best in your eyes, and I hope you vote for me tonight. Thank you.
Clever in that he credits Ometepe for success and gives credit to Zapatero for being smart without ever making it like super obvious and in your face. He smartly avoids dunking on anyone or apologizing for anything. Someone has done their homework. What makes it even better is when Natalie and Philip both give their opening speeches, and in both of them, they say that yes, aligning with Rob is the best move I made all game, and I thank Rob for being here. Amazing. Just write him the $1 million check yourself, why don't you? Andrea is the first juror, and when she talks to Philip, he just tells her off. And again, Natalie gives Rob all the credit for her success. This is the Natalie Russell thought he was playing against in Samoa, but no, Rob actually got the Natalie that Russell wanted. Ashley is the second juror, and again, Philip tells her off too. Amazing, simply amazing. Chef's kiss. I have no argument with Philip's oral argument. It is perfection. Grant is the third juror, and
first of all, Natalie came up to me and said, "Tell me what to do." So I said, "Natalie, if you do exactly what I tell you to do, I'll take you all the way to the end." The relationship that we had, I also trusted and valued all the way up until I felt like you were going to kick my ass. Because honestly, I didn't want to go against you sitting here.
Well, I still think it would have been fun to duke it out at the end with you. Like I said from the very beginning, good luck.
Ralph is fourth, and he says, Natalie, all you did was follow Rob. True. Julie says no one here played a respectable game, so of course Philip tells her off. Why wouldn't Philip do that? And says his big secret that no one here knew about. This is probably the thing that's going to turn around the whole game. Get ready, is that he was close to Rob the whole time. Amazing, Philip. You nailed it. No one's laughing at you, they're laughing with you. Mike is next, and he asks each of them what they have learned, and Rob says, I think I've learned to stop playing games, and I'm never going to play Survivor again. This is my last time. With that in mind, I do look forward to you all watching the next few Rob Father videos I've planned. Steve then says, I respect Rob and Natalie, but definitely not Philip. David then tells the entire jury that voting for anyone but Rob would be criminal. And finally, we end on Matt.
Clearly, you were very duplicitous, manipulating, deceiving, and you were a liar. Where is the line drawn after 117 days, 10 years, and 4 seasons of Survivor?
Yeah, the line's drawn as soon as I'm back in my real life. But inside of the game of Survivor, I feel like it's necessary to play like this. But I find it to be very effective in playing.
Well, all the people that you betrayed are having a very hard time understanding who you really are. Great job to all 3 of you.
What a cakewalk of a final tribal council. It helps that none of them knew Rob personally before the season began, because I think that's largely what did him in on All-Stars, though he still could have won that season. But before we go to the live finale to see Rob win in a landslide, obviously, let's check out what happens on Ponderosa as soon as Final Tribal is finished.
Julie made up that whole story tonight at Tribal Council about Natalie and the rocks and me telling her to go get a rock. It wasn't even true. It never happened. But ironically, today, before I left camp, I saw these 2 rocks that Julie painted for her daughters. And out of the goodness of my heart, I said, I'm gonna put them in my bag and I'm gonna bring them and give them to her, because it's a nice thing. But then she was such a bitch at Tribal Council and made up this whole convoluted story. And for the record, Natalie never cut my nose hair or beard. That was Ashley. Okay? So, Julie, I was gonna give these to you, but instead, we're gonna leave them here in Nicaragua. Ready? Feel better?
Feels way better already.
All right.
First vote, Rob. Philip. Rob. 2 votes, Rob. Rob. That's 3 votes, Rob. Rob. That's 4 votes Rob, 1 vote Philip. The winner of Survivor Redemption Island, Rob.
So what do you think about Russell and Rob? Which player do you like more? Comment below and let me know. Thank you for watching, and doubly thanks for liking and subscribing. I'll see you all next time.